Welcome to the Wicked Radio Network.
I, Hal Jordan, do solemnly swear to pledge allegiance to a lantern that I got from a dying purple alien in a swamp, to infinity and beyond. By the power of Grayskull. What the hell?
Ready to go? Hot.
Yep, just drank a large coffee.
Recorded to you live from the Keira Knightley for Cable rally. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Yeah.
I really like that opening.
I like it. It was smooth, relaxed.
That was one of our best
very
openings.
mellow.
Very
one of our best openings so
fresh
far.
and clean. Nice. Is anybody awake?
I'm awake and
All
I'm
right.
here. My name is Dom Torrey.
That's
this
you.
is the Wicked Theory Podcast.
Thank
I'm
you.
sitting across from my host,
Oh.
my beloved host. His name is
Beloved.
Bill Sweeney.
Well, thank you.
To my left is our co-host, Bob Robert Sweeney.
Bob
Hello,
Robert.
hello.
Bob Robert Sweeney. He'll be on the guitar.
They'll be giving you tunes.
And that's it for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a wrap.
We got
End
the
of show.
crickets in the fourth seat today, yeah?
Yeah. Nobody in the fourth seat. A little misscheduling
That's two
thing.
in a row for Ed.
That's 2 in a row for Ed. Not to put it on Ed,
Yeah.
but it's
No, you know, but we got we wrote them up the first time.
we did. We
had
put
to
some-
write them up now.
We put it in his folder,
Yes.
and
We were
but you know,
actually-
the rule is 3 and you're out. So
well, he's got it's a pink
Yeah.
slip, but it's not the pink slip.
Right. Well, actually, we were supposed to have a guest today.
Yeah, but we
But
don't have to go crazy about it.
Didn't work out.
It didn't work.
To say the least.
To say that.
To say that. So, let's jump into it.
Let's jump into it. So, this, the first spot is we just kind of banter a little bit, catch up on some stuff, like what people have been doing, what's going on, maybe stuff they've been catching.
Meanwhile,
But since I don't have anything in my life in particular
Right.
going on, you, Dominic?
I'm trying to think, man. Not really, but I did
Uh-oh.
purchase
What?
a
Let's see
ticket
how. Okay. Oh.
for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice
Batman v Superman.
on Thursday,
Ooh.
March 24th at
Tickets
9:45
Tickets
p.m.
on sale now.
So, people, if you're looking
How many,
if you're looking to see that movie,
Mm.
the night before it comes out on the 25th,
Yeah.
you want to see it first
Yeah.
before anyone else.
I do.
Download that Fandango app,
That dang fang dango.
get it going,
Hold on.
buy your ticket. Bill's gonna sneeze. God bless you. God bless you again.
Oh my God, my
Any
brain
more?
fell out. No, I'm good.
Are you one of those people that's like, achoo, achoo?
Well, I was on mic. Usually I do shit, because that's what I learned from my grandmother. But anyway, that's her gag.
Yeah. So what was I saying?
Irene.
Mm-hmm. Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So
good night, Irene.
if you want to see it first,
Mm-hmm.
download that Fandango app,
Get that fandango.
get your tickets for the 24th, and go and see it.
I don't know. I feel like I've already seen it.
Well, if you
There's
watch,
like half an hour of the movies out
There
on
is,
the trailers.
there is
no,
a
there's more now, right?
well, there's a combined trailer that someone made, fan edit of all
Yeah.
the stuff that's out there.
Right,
I think it's like
that's
12.
No, it's about 9.5 minutes.
Is that
I
it?
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it, because since that was made, there's been a few other commercials.
TV spots. So
Yeah.
you're not getting a lot more in those lately,
Not-
but you're getting some flashes.
Not to get too into it, but I felt the same way as you, Bob. And then after I saw that video, that's like a 10-minute long, compilation of all the trailers.
Right.
I actually felt opposite. I feel that
Okay.
all the trailers are from the same scene.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so from the same section of the
So
movie.
kind of
so-
like Deadpool, you're seeing a lot of the same
Right.
handful of moments.
Okay.
Just
Right, right.
a little
So
bit more.
so
Okay.
basically, then what we're seeing is a lot of the final action.
Fair
possibly.
enough.
Because
fair
I mean,
enough.
Doomsday's in it, so it's got to be at least towards that part.
Right.
I think we're actually seeing two different
maybe-
fights. I think we're seeing Batman
Right.
and Superman's first fight, and then their second fight. One where
Yeah.
he's got the armor on, and one where he doesn't.
Right. And then
And maybe even a third, because they're fighting
Right.
again, and then Wonder Woman shows up.
right. It could be
So-
during the middle of the second fight that Doomsday comes in.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
let's keep it rolling. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Rolling. Bob, I got a couple other things in the meanwhile. So, that's a text from.
That is a text.
From the comic book shop.
From the comic shop? Comic Book Jones?
From
Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York?
2220 Forest Avenue. Babyface Jones says, "Hey man, let me know if any of these number ones you would like. Infinity Entity. Guess that's another Infinity Gauntlet tied thing.
Let's look it up. I have the internet
Mockingbird's
on my
getting a book. Haunted Mansion. Baker Street Peculiars. Mars Attacks and Samurai. Taking to the piss on all the dudes.
Infinity Entity actually looks pretty cool.
Who's do you actually have any?
Jim Starlin's writing it.
Yeah.
Alan Davis on the art.
Yeah, I like those guys. Those guys are look long-time pros, but they're bringing me back to 1991.
And if you saw the artwork on this, if you want, I could.
It's actually 1984 in the artwork.
Yeah, it looks like 90.
Alan
like
Davis has got a
the
certain
70s.
kind of style that kicks it way back.
Yeah, but it's actually.
God bless Marvel for letting Jim Starlin do all of that stuff, because they let him write all of that Infinity Gauntlet kind of side title stuff now.
This is going to be about Adam Warlock. So that's someone who I know nothing about.
Well, Adam Warlock is going to be showing up in the MCU.
Yes, he will be. So actually, before we go any further, I just want to plug another podcast that we do.
That we do?
We do.
These three gentlemen at the table
you know what,
here.
This section here, the Meanwhile section, this is a good place for this.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So we do another podcast. It's called Preacher vs. Preacher.
That's right.
It is a companion podcast to the upcoming AMC
A show that's not even out yet.
Preacher.
That's how I like to plug it. For a show that's not even out yet, we've got a one-episode podcast. You just don't know what you're missing.
That's right. And that's a great commercial voice, by the way.
Thank you very much. I'm working on it all week.
You're going to be selling cars with that voice?
The car guy's a little bit deeper. He's a little bit more on the side, a little bit faster.
That's the radio car guy.
That's the video car guy. Void where warranties don't work in your state.
Right.
That guy. You know what I mean?
Chet you betcha.
And then there's the other guy, which come down to Lou's Nissan on Route 42. We've got cars, lots of them.
Anyone who
Formerly
lives in the New York,
owned by
New
a
Jersey
little
area
old lady
knows
from
that voice.
Pasadena.
I want you both to talk again at the same time. I love dual punchlines. What was yours? Because I didn't hear either of them. So
I just said
we're gonna recap this.
I just said whoever lives in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey
Right,
area
right.
knows that voice.
knows
you
that
just
guy.
did.
And what were you saying?
I was talking about the little old lady from Pasadena who used to own the cars.
That's it. I was gonna say once we were going canoeing up in Pennsylvania, and I swear to God,
Canoeing. We're going
we were going canoeing because we're city guys. So we were like on a field trip into the woods. Crazy. Only two of us came back.
You was where they keep the dirt.
That's actually a story I should tell one day. Is the canoe trip of
Oh yeah,
1992.
yeah. I know
my
that
God.
story. I'm glad I never went.
Anyway, literally went down the river with 17.
Ooh, Deliverance ain't
seven-
got nothing on that.
17 canoes. We came back with 5. Anyway, I got rescued. Let's leave it at that. Dun dun dun. That's a whole
Oh,
other
that's
story.
gonna fill up the email box right there.
We want to hear the story now. But anyway, I was going to say is that when we were driving through, we heard this car commercial. The guy was literally, and we weren't sure if it was a joke because we're not from there. That like the guy was like, and if you want to trade in your cow or your tractor or any other kinds of equipment, you can run it by us. We'll talk about it. Like, and I was like, get the fuck. I'm like, we're only in rural Pennsylvania. You know, not even that rural.
play, I'm
we
laughing.
were like at Jarvis. We were up at Port Jarvis was where we were at. Kittatinny. All that shit. Right now, Agent Palmer's like, I know those locations. I am from Pennsylvania. All right.
All right, so we do another podcast.
We do another podcast. That's what we were talking about. Preacher versus Preacher. And I'm going to run it down like this. Preacher is a comic book. And if you go read that comic book and then listen to our podcast, which is going to be about the show, you're going to listen to us, kind of compare it to the book. It's not just going to be a regular, like, companion show for a TV show. It's going to be a little different. We're hoping that you read the books. Dom's read the books twice now. He's in his second run. Bob's read them once.
I'll be
I've
starting
read
a
them
third.
once.
Yeah.
He's going to start a third. This kid's going to write the Wikipedia page. By the way, he's a Preacher Wiki. You should probably fill out an application for those guys. Help them out.
I should.
He follows our Preacher verse, Preach
Does he?
VS Preach Twitter account.
Maybe I could actually plug it on the show, and then he'll hit me up. Hey, you want to write for the wiki page?
Yeah, maybe.
That would be cool.
He looks like he could use a few entries. Also, our buddy Steph from Gotham Lights podcast has actually picked up books 3 and 4 now.
She's read the first 2 trade paperbacks, which is the first 23 or 24 issues.
Right. All compiled into a nice, slick-looking
I
book.
think it's 12 each.
And our buddy from Scotland, Bryan Hughes, has hinted.
Scotland.
Scotland? Did I say that right?
Scotland.
Scotland? Scotland. That sounds like a name. My name is Scotland.
So yeah, he started reading them, right?
He said he was gonna order them, thinking about ordering them, something to that effect. I don't want to paint him in a corner and say that he said that he did.
Order the fucking books, Brian. I'll paint you in a corner.
You know
Brian.
what I mean? I don't know how long it's gonna take to get out there. I know you're a whole other planet.
Hey man, I mean, isn't Garth Ennis from the UK?
I think he's Irish.
Okay.
He's from Ireland, I believe. Now I might just be misquoted.
He's from the area, so
He's from not here,
right.
not America, and to Americans it's all the
Well,
same.
I did say the UK, so technically
I don't want to get into that. I don't know.
It's part of it. I think.
I feel like we might start some kind of kerfluffle or something.
True.
by-
Sorry,
I don't know.
Sorry if I offended you, Brian.
I don't know how that all works.
If I offended you, you could angrily mention me on Twitter.
Or angrily write us an email.
Do it anyways.
You can do it anyways.
So yeah, check out that show. We only have one episode up so far. We're hoping that the show, that the TV show
series.
Preacher, gives us some more casting news or maybe another trailer. Hopefully,
So I saw a thing
within the
that,
next few weeks, so we could
South
put
by
out another
Southwest is coming, and they're supposed to do another screening
right
at this
of the pilot.
of the pilot. So hopefully, coming out of that, will probably that'll be starting the buzz for it.
Right. So we could do another episode for you guys to check out.
Yeah.
But so just check out the first episode and follow us, our account for that show on Twitter. That's at PreachVSPreach. It's Preacher versus Preacher.
I just
Check
want to mention, you guys don't know anything about this or what this means, but I think this weekend I'm going to start Operation Blue Flamingo. I'll say it again, Operation Blue Flamingo. That is all. Bob, I heard you checked out the new Anthrax album.
Yeah, I picked that up. That's a really good album.
All right.
Yeah, really cool. Very old school. Joey's back singing for the second album now. So now they're starting to sound like old school Anthrax again.
Old school Anthrax.
Yeah.
So I did hear a couple of tracks.
Not that it's all like 1985 sounding, but
Right.
it's. I mean, it's current.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's up to date, the music, but it just feels like old school Anthrax.
Okay. No,
Yeah, you know what
I
I mean, writing style. So
yeah, I heard it through the wall a little bit, and
yeah, I had it cranked a little bit.
sounded very in the style. It's not something that's like
Yeah, I think it's For All Kings or something like that. It's called, and the title track is really awesome.
so. They're holding on to the sound, and it's not some kind of crazy change. It's definitely
Yeah, no, they've gone back to being more like Anthrax. When they had John Bush as the singer, they became a very different band. They were trying to stay current. They was trying to keep their $50 million record deal with the Elektra
Right,
Records.
Okay, sure.
So because they had just gotten that when a lot of the changes in music came.
Okay.
So they were trying to. That was the whole reason for John Bush and the change and everything, and you know, they survived with him.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was good music, but it wasn't anything that anyone was really wanting to listen to. And a lot of people at the time were tired of Joey, so they could have just crashed and burned at that point. So having John Bush in the band at the time was a good thing.
Kept it going.
Yeah.
Kept
So
it going.
now the old lineup's back, and because everyone's doing it now. You know what I mean? Everyone's getting their old singers back.
Yeah.
Motley Crue's back together with Vince Neil, even though he really can't sing anymore because he never
they?
could to begin with.
Christ.
So they destroyed his voice.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
basically.
I guess
So,
Crew not really my cup of
you know,
tea.
well, he was never a trained singer.
Well, I can
so-
see that though. I can see that.
Yeah. So
Now that I know that.
he used to have to take time off during tours. They'd have to stop the tour and restart. So
So, but you've so now back to Anthrax.
Yeah,
so,
back
so you,
to that.
So you've checked out the whole album. Pretty
yeah,
much?
I've listened to pretty much the whole album. I've had it on repeat.
Oh, so you're digging it.
Yeah,
So you're
so-
digging it. It's definitely good.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
I know the new Megadeath too.
Yeah, Megadeath was
Came
a
out.
couple of weeks ago. That one is another excellent one. The new guitar player is excellent. The new drummer makes him sound really current.
I don't
with
know
a
if
lot more double
anybody.
bass.
I don't know if I've heard anybody be as consistent with their sound as Dave Mustaine has been.
He writes and he
Well, you know what I
produces
mean?
everything.
I know
So
it's all his
always
machine.
going to have a certain sound,
Yeah.
no matter who's playing.
Because there's not
But
a lot of other
you can always
influence in the
tell
room.
the guitar players. You know, you always knew when. I think it was Jason Becker. I think it was not Jason Becker. The other guy, Marty Friedman,
Okay.
who was in the band, and he's a phenomenal shredder in his own
Right,
right.
right.
And you could tell when he was in the band, when he
All right.
wasn't. You know what I mean? So there's always room for personality in the Megadeth, but it's always going to sound like Dave.
Well, that's
You know,
that's for sure.
which is perfectly fine because that
Yeah.
served them well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
still welcome in the United States, unlike some other people he used to play with. Hint, hint.
Hint,
You
hint.
know,
Who could that
who
be?
no one really like. They don't even bother like really selling albums in this country anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Their home country. How sad is that?
They don't try as hard
So-
anymore.
No, they do great overseas. They don't
Well, that's
even
what I
bother
mean.
here.
But that's why,
They do a best of tour here.
Right, exactly.
You know, because anyone only wants to hear is when they were good.
There
I
you
wonder
go.
why.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about bands,
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but earlier in the week, the Foo Fighters made an official release that they were breaking up.
No.
But turns out it was a goof.
Oh. Was it really?
So I think it was maybe last Friday or sometime last week. They had posted up on Twitter, official band announcement coming tomorrow or like next week, something like that.
Okay.
And then the following day or in the following days, Dave Grohl comes out and he's like, so I've decided to part ways from the Foo Fighters. I think that...
it's a horrible joke to play on your fans.
yeah, horrible. I almost had a mental breakdown. So he's like, I think...
And that's like you. You're not even the craziest.
I'm a big Foo Fighter fan,
them,
but
I
like
mean,
not like, you know, some
you,
people are.
You don't have no Foo tattoo. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Some people do. Absolutely.
But anyway.
So he's like, I've decided to pursue an always destined solo career.
Oh, God.
He was like...
I thought you were going to say something like a little more silly, like, you know, I'm going to start acting or something stupid, like, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Surprised he hasn't been in stuff. Really.
But so he's like, you know, don't think that this is an innocent thing, that I'm just going off to do a solo career. Me and Taylor Hawkins, who's the drummer, who's probably like, you know, the second front man
That's
of the
his
band.
right hand on that band, yeah.
We got into a big fight. So they hooked up with some rock magazine. I don't know exactly which one it was. It might have been like
Circus?
I'd be lying if I knew what magazine it was. And they came out with an article confirming it, saying that the argument between the two was over who wore more stylish flannels.
And people bought this?
Because it made it to the magazine.
Yeah.
So that backed it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? That bolstered it just enough.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And then the magazine also reported that whoever... I don't remember... I got to look it up. I gotta fucking do some more research here. But they had a guy who's also a famous singer from a famous band. I want to say it was Slipknot. Whoever the front man for Slipknot is. They were saying that he was going to replace Dave in the Foo Fighters.
And that guy was like saying, it's true.
Yeah.
Get out of here. This is great.
So
he was probably thinking, we should do this in April Fool's. But, like, to do it on April Fool's.
I couldn't contain myself.
Well, just also, too, like, to do anything on April 1st, everybody's suspect.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you can't even do it anymore. But go
Right. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Obviously,
That's
people
funny,
were
though.
like, this is fucking bullshit. If you believe this, you're a moron. And then the next day, they let it sit for like a day or two, and then they came out and were like, oh, no, we were just fucking around.
Probably
I'm pretty
It's
sure
easy
that's...
to say.
Probably would have been more believable if they like said Chris Cornell or something.
Oh, my God.
Maybe. But I think it's easy to say, if you fell for this, like, you're a moron. If you're on the outside, like, finding out, like,
I fucking
afterwards.
fell for it.
But that's what I'm going to say. Like, if you were in the middle of it and watched it
So
go
you
down.
were sitting there heartbroken after reading your screen?
Dude, I'm
Well,
on
think
Facebook,
about
and I'm
the
reading
phases
this
of it.
article from this magazine, and I'm like, wait a second.
But by the time
This is really what they got into an argument over? Flannels?
But by the time you get to the article, like, the article comes later. So if you've already digested it, you've got questions in your head. I didn't know Bob was going to do sound effects.
Me
this
neither.
week. I love it.
I like it.
I didn't know you did a good, like, crying, like, 2-year-old. Because it's not quite a baby. It sounds a little older. Like, he's had about a pack and a half.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, it's creeping me out. But anyway, I could see how people would fall for it. So to say afterwards, like, how could you, like, once you know all the facts, like, who's going to fight over flannels? It's like, well, Dick, until they said it was flannels. They didn't say anything except we're breaking up. So.
Right. And it was
Like,
so, it was so funny
Really?
because
Who
in the article-
wears the better flannels?
That's
right?
great.
right. And then in the article, they're like, they're replacing Dave Grohl with so and so, who indeed wears magnificent flannels.
That's it.
So I mean,
great.
I was a little suspect of it, but
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, so and I just saw them in concert a few months ago,
and I don't think he's
they're
like,
really
he's
coming
known
back.
for being a funny guy, but I don't think he's known for doing that kind of thing
Right.
to the fans or on his Twitter. I mean, I don't even know, but
Right, yeah.
I don't think that's quite.
Yeah. So I mean, don't quote me like 100% on the story. I'm almost 100% on the facts of it, but
I want everybody
you know.
listening to go look it up, find out what really happened.
You
and then
know, I
write
mean,
us an email
it's like telephone.
and call Dom out on his bullshit.
Exactly.
That's it. Speaking of emails,
I don't think anyone spoke of them.
I said that people should send in an email about you. So, so I'm saying, well, since I mentioned emails.
Do we have any?
Boy, do we.
We have a lot?
We have quite a few. We have quite a few.
Wait. Okay.
And I'm not even counting the 2 spam that hit the mailbox.
Please don't read the spam.
I can't. But
Wow,
one is from Mary E.
Our email actually got spam?
Yeah.
Dude, we're on our way.
We're on I've been posting the link in all the wrong places, I guess.
Well, the question is, Bill.
Yeah.
It's not the amount of emails we got. It is
what's the quality?
The variety of
the
different
variety.
people that sent us the email.
Okay, that's a good point. To that, I think
there's the spam. We got to count
12
that.
from Ed, but I mean, you know.
And then there's 4 from Steph, 3 from Palmer,
Yeah.
2 from Grant's wife.
Well, there's 2 from Mary E, who's trying to tell me how important it is for me to contact her immediately in Amsterdam, Netherlands, because my dead distant relatives left an unclaimed estate that will be beneficial to me.
Well, I think we've gotten that one already.
Damn it.
But,
Jesus.
you know, we've gotten a couple. That's the only ones that we get. The kind of spam we get. We get the, you know, you got money.
Right.
But,
a prince in Nigeria has left you $22 million.
That's
Dude,
exactly,
Amsterdam's
that's
a fun place.
The voicemail that I got. That's exactly what he's telling.
Amsterdam's a fun place, man. We should
they take
we should go there.
A class
Sweeney's,
trip.
You know, we should go to find your money.
We should go, right? And be like, "Where's Mary E?"
You know, that would be
I don't
that
have
would be a
her
good
name.
excuse
I just
to
have
go,
the
right?
E
They'd
and
be
a
like,
dot.
dude, no Mary E here, just Mary Jane.
There you go.
And that's why I want to go there.
And that's why we may never come back.
Well, we've had family members who've been there already.
We Brother Tom, Brother Dave.
Yeah.
Went to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
way back in the old '90s.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they
And,
almost never came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin, he got married about 4 or 5 years ago, and for his bachelor party, him and about like 6 or 7 of his friends went.
Jesus.
But at the time,
That's basically kind of like what happened. It was like there was like 12 of them that went. It was a whole guy trip.
yeah. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was under 18, so my mom and dad were like a little. Even though I was the best man in the wedding,
Well, that's the
my
thing you gotta
parents
mention, sure.
weren't too happy about me going, so I wasn't allowed to go, unfortunately. But
Well, they could have.
You
You
would've-
should have told Mom, Dad, just give me a piss test when I come back.
Let me tell you something. You would have came
honestly,
back.
it wasn't
You would have came back. You never would have finished high school. You never would have went to college. You never would have got a job.
the
You'd be
excuse
sleeping on the couch right now, packing a bowl while you're sleeping.
right
In the basement.
to roast
In the basement.
to roast my parents a little bit.
With them all.
The excuse
Gently.
the excuse they gave was, you know, we don't mind you going and drinking and doing whatever. You know, it's not that big of a deal, but we don't want you to hold them back from going to bars and going to clubs and stuff, because you won't be able to get in because you're not of age.
This
And I was
Meanwhile-
like, fuck off.
Meanwhile, you
It's
probably
Amsterdam.
would've-
It's Europe.
wait.
They don't give a fuck about
but-
age.
The age is probably
Wait.
13. Like, you know what I mean? Did mom and dad even know the age? Like, you know?
Yeah, you see parents walking their kids down here. Joey, shut the fuck up. Have some wine here.
You know, they're blowing. They're giving the kid the cone, the joint rolled in a nice fancy cone shape.
Yeah.
Those
Your standard
bastards.
brownie
So
there is a
this one
hashtag.
happened to have happened with your parents around the time the movie Taken came out, though.
It actually was. You're right.
Yeah, there you
Mom
go.
might have been a little nervous
There
about the
you
whole
go.
international flavor of
Yeah,
it.
well, you were gonna get. You know, she was worried you were gonna get taken hostage.
Mom
and
was going to be on the
turned
phone,
into a
not the guy
prostitute.
doing the fucking
Right.
Liam Neeson fucking.
I will find you and I will kill you if you don't bring my fucking son back to fucking Staten Island. All right?
She's got a
I
particular.
have over time for
got a
come into my
particular set of
possession
skills?
certain skills which will
I got a
allow me.
particular set of skills. I'll trade you for some meatballs and some pasta. All right?
Would you like a pie?
It's homemade sauce.
I'll make you some quiche too. I'll throw in some quiche if you get my son back by Sunday, so we can have Sunday dinner with us.
This quiche. It is homemade.
He loves my meatballs. Let me send him some meatballs.
Love it. All right. Actual
How about some chicken meatloaf?
chicken? Well, now we are
No,
talking.
oh,
Now we are
really?
talking. You might get this kid, lady. You are talking.
See, I was gonna go the other way. I was gonna say, gee, she don't want you back. She's
Yeah,
offering
that's
chicken
actually,
meatloaf.
Well, you know what? It's actually brilliant because how else would you pay a bunch of fucking stoners out in another country
You
with
know what I
food?
mean?
They all got the munchies.
That's
It's
what I
like we
mean.
were going to ask you for money, but now that you
Yeah,
mentioned
All they have is
yeah,
sweets
quiche,
there.
You were just
and-
cutting out the middleman now, you know.
you're saving us actually.
And all they have is sweets there. So,
Well, that's the other thing. All right, so gentlemen, first question from Edward O'Hare
all right.
is: if Iron Man hosted a late night talk show, Bob, throwing this a little bit at you,
Okay.
who would be his band leader? Tony
Me.
Stark or Iron Man? All right.
No.
So
No,
Dom,
no.
who would
Who would his band leader be?
like? Who's a good band leader?
Dude,
for
only one man
Tony
for the
Stark,
job.
Iron Man.
Only one man for the job. Stan Lee.
Stan Lee should be his Ed McMahon.
No, I was thinking
Right.
it was Doc Severinsen.
Well, because Stan's old, he can't stand. Stan can't stand. Excelsior, where's the couch? That's
Can't
it.
Stan Lee.
That's it. Like, can't stand. There you go.
I don't think anyone can stand him anymore.
Well, there's that too.
Except when he's in his cameos in the movies.
That's about it.
The last one was a
Not
pisser
even
and a
because
half.
I heard he made a big fucking
There
shitstorm
was
about
like a
his
rumor
cameo in
about it.
Deadpool,
It was a
but
big
not to get
stuff.
into that.
Really?
Back to the emails.
All right,
That's
so,
we can look forward to that. Maybe in the news. But but for his band leader, I don't know any who plays their instruments. But I mean, if it's Iron Man, you kind
Well-
of got to go Jim Rhodes, right? That's like his best friend. Right?
Yeah. No, that would be his Ed McMahon.
Okay.
No, that would be
his
his
announcer
McMahon.
slash.
that would be
right?
his.
Or
What's
Pepper
the little
Potts would
Mexican
be.
guy that's on Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, Guillermo.
Guillermo. He'd be like his Guillermo.
Okay, it's Guillermo.
Okay.
All
Just
right,
not as goofy.
yeah.
Just not as goofy.
A
Right,
little more
right.
serious.
Right. I think that.
But,
There's some
okay,
kind of
but
variation of
still,
that.
then, if it's not going to be Stan Lee, who's going to be the band leader? It can't be Captain America because right now, if you're following the movies, at least
We don't need
kinda
these
fighting.
guys. They get so many arguments
Yeah.
during the monologue.
So it's got to be somebody that likes Tony, and Tony likes.
Pepper. I mean, who else
Nah,
is?
Pepper don't like him.
Well, I mean, she puts up with him.
Yeah.
But who else is in his? There's no
Jarvis?
other. Just a digital
what's his name?
hologram.
What's his
Actually,
name?
you know what? If
What
it was
about
Tony
Dugan?
Stark, there wouldn't be
What about
anybody in the
Dugan?
band.
From Shield.
Dum Dum?
Dum
Is
Dum.
Jarvis dead in the movie universe now that Ultron killed him?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jarvis ain't around anymore.
Yeah, because Jarvis would be good when he could be the whole band.
Well, Jarvis is like technically merged, and that's why the movie starts out with some other, he's using Friday or whatever. I mean, in the comics, she's called Friday, but I don't know. I don't remember the movies, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what told me right from the jump that Jarvis wasn't going to
No,
last long.
Ultron dies. No, he dies in Ultron because Ultron takes him over.
Right, but Jarvis technically is part of the merging matrix of Vision.
Yes.
Actually, Ultron
Part of the
might
suit's
not
the
be a
same
bad.
actor.
Actually, if you think about it, Ultron might not be a bad person to choose to be the band leader
Ultron.
because
Well, if you've watched Jimmy Kimmel, Ultron is like his Matt Damon,
Right.
who's like constantly out quote unquote war with him. But the Vision would be the band leader, I guess, right? Doesn't
Okay.
talk much, keeps it
Yeah.
very simple. Tony, you are funny.
he's an android, so he knows when to shut up.
Exactly. Right, because
And-
that's what you need is the
to
band
shut up
leader,
and
like a
play.
robot. Laugh when I tell you.
Right.
Yeah, Dave.
Knows all
You
the
know, that's
music, gets to know the music real quick. So yeah, I guess.
it. All right, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Kinda.
Who was that from? Ed?
That was from Ed.
Okay.
We probably went too long. But,
Fuck.
so, fuck him. So, Ed's next one. Gentlemen, would the lack of sun cause a rise in skin cancer rates during the zombie apocalypse?
The lack of sun? No, I think it would
Well,
be
that's
the
what I'm saying.
opposite.
Would the lack of sun... I'm sorry. Would the lack of sunblock
Oh,
cause a rise in skin cancer rates during the zombie apocalypse? Well, I mean, sure,
Yeah,
but
it
who's
could,
who's checking cancer during the zombie
Honestly,
apocalypse?
well, I think that's the one thing that we
Apocalypse,
would have to make sure we still learn how to make because otherwise we're going to start shooting people who aren't zombies because they're going to start looking like them. They're going to get cooked in the sun. They're going to get cancerous.
We're gonna have all these boils and
Right,
stuff.
boils and stuff.
I guess.
You know,
I
they'll
guess
be
there's something
moaning.
to
They'll be
that.
walking around moaning, hurting their feet. You know,
I bet
you
you.
know.
I
more
bet
than a
you
few will
the
be dead. I think
I bet you-
accidentally.
cancer rates in the post-zombie apocalypse
Mhm.
era are much lower than they are in the modern technological era.
Well,
Just
why?
because most
pollution
people are
will
already
lower?
dead.
What's that?
Why? Because pollution will lower.
Pollution, technology, no more
I'm
mobile
thinking-
devices.
I'm thinking it might be high because, I mean, if everybody's wandering around like a bunch of vagabonds,
Hmm.
they're outside more.
Ah,
Yeah,
could-
but do people give people cancer really?
No. I don't think. I don't know. I don't understand the question.
All right, fuck it.
Fuck
Next
it.
question.
Ed's next question. Will Green Lantern appear?
No more cancer questions on
Yeah.
this show. Fuck that.
Boo! Boo to cancer. Hashtag boo cancer. Gentlemen, will Green Lantern appear on TV before he appears in a movie?
I would probably say. I would
Maybe?
hope so. It's
I would
Actually-
I would say no.
I would
You go
agree
first.
with that. I would probably say no because this past week DC or Warner Bros. Executive came out and said that
No more Green Lantern
he's
ever.
not going to be.
Oh.
You're not going to see a Green Lantern until like Justice League Part 2.
Okay.
And the Green Lantern Corps movie is slated for 2020.
As like the dead last thing, right?
Right. So
After Cyborg
unless
gets a
they
movie.
Unless they do like a quick thing where like Hal Jordan pops up on Arrow.
Well, that's
or,
what I think
or
you
like
might
Jon
get
Stewart
at the
maybe
very
or
least.
something like that.
Yeah, but they might actually bump it up simply because if Ryan Reynolds is still in the contract right now, he's pretty hot.
I think they would probably squash his
Yeah, I
thing.
think it's probably already squashed.
I think it's especially now because he's goofed on it so much.
Right.
It's like now it's a different animal, and we have to kind of restart the whole slate
Mm-hmm.
because they're all just trying to put their distance between that movie in general. Ryan's hot,
Yeah.
but let's not talk about that movie ever. Kind of a thing is what that's become. But I could see Arrow kind of doing a thing where it's like
Yeah.
Hal Jordan shows up. He's not Green Lantern yet,
Right.
And it's just like a cameo kind of thing. Hey, I heard you guys need a plane.
Right.
I got a small airport over here. It's Ferris Airport. You guys need a ride?
They've already done Ferris Easter eggs on
Well, that's what I
Arrow,
mean.
so
They kind of had a sign or something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this guy from Warner Brothers saying that a Green Lantern won't pop up until Justice League 2 is either A, delusional, or B, it's just bluffing because once fans really get a hold of that rumor and you
Well,
know,
now they'll
they
just
start getting
flower- yeah.
feedback from fans
They'll
saying
wanna
that they're
push it
going
up,
to
maybe.
come up
Yeah.
to the fucking WB studios and with pitchforks and flamethrowers, they'll put Green Lantern in the Justice League
I
Part
heard
1.
Babyface Jones is in his car right now.
Exactly.
Trying
He's
to find,
driving out to California.
He's driving around the whole block right now. Which building was it? How do I get on the set? How do I
Right.
get past the security guys? Damn.
Right.
How do I
and
get in?
And I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan,
No, but I dig
but
it.
I like him, and I don't think that they should hold the character back and punish fans for their mistake. So
I think what we've been learning is that there is a certain amount of, especially for comic book fans, like, yeah, we can take another version. We can reboot. We can. That's all we get
Well,
in comic books
yeah.
is every 6 months another
Right.
version, another take, another spin, another artist drawing it
Right.
where,
Yeah.
Hal looks a little different.
that happens in comics.
It's constant.
Yeah, that happens in comics themselves.
what I mean?
So what's the difference
Right,
if it
it's-
happens on the screen?
And
Comics
now-
are in their own way a soap opera.
And now, well, absolutely. I've
So-
always said it's a soap opera with spandex.
Mm-hmm.
But even now, we're so used to kind of in a way these things kind of getting recast, and like we're kind of used to that with movies in general to a way with these franchises that run long. So it's like, all right, we all knew that was a misfire. It's like imagine if people were hung up about the Deadpool in Wolverine Origins right now, and they were like, no, we like that version. Like, and no one's kind of saying that about the Ryan Reynolds. So there's no reason to be
Well,
too
wasn't
worried
he,
about
yeah, but
getting
wasn't he
something going.
the Deadpool in the Wolverine Origins movie too?
Well,
You
that's
know?
why I'm just kind of saying. It's
But
like, no one's.
like it was a much different representation of the character, like
Oh, it
just
was-
based
Right.
on the way he looked and the way he acted.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to say.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying
What
to
do we
say.
got next?
Good point. Good. That's a good point. Another damn one from Ed. Gentlemen, could Justin Timberlake handle starring in a superhero movie?
No.
I don't see why not. I mean, he's a decent actor.
He got decent
No,
chops.
he's actually got decent acting chops. I just couldn't
don't know
handle
what
seeing
you-
him as a
Nova?
superhero.
Yeah, Nova might be something kind of for him, something like that.
I mean, he would never be cast in a superhero movie. I don't
think so.
But I would actually like it
are
if he
there
was
any-
because I like Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Are there any superheroes, male superheroes that wear pink?
Does he wear pink a lot?
Because maybe then that would be suitable for him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't see him. I could buy him
It's
with
not-
the fake tats and everything in the movie, and
kind of in a scene or
but
something like that. But
look, I see him as
superhero
being
outfitted?
like, look up in the sky. I don't see him being the guy up in the sky. You know what I mean?
that's what I was gonna say. I could see him
So-
being somebody in a movie, maybe
Right.
a
Jimmy
friend or
Olsen.
somebody.
Jimmy
Rick,
Olsen.
Rick Jones.
Steve
if they ever,
Trevor.
There you go, Rick Jones. That's a good one.
maybe even
Uh-huh.
he does know how to play guitar a little bit, like Rick Jones. Kind of plays
Uh-huh.
knows how to play guitar, supposedly.
Yeah, actually that would be a good to help bring the Hulk character out is to have a Rick Jones character.
Hashtag who will be Rick Jones? Okay, so Ed's next one is: could Carrie Fisher beat sexual chocolate
Stop.
Mark
Just
Henry in an oyster eating contest?
Declined.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with
I disavow.
Why did you even read that one?
Because when you start reading, you just can't stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's like a train.
Who where's the intern that let that one get by?
Oh, that's me. It's a really small staff. I'm my own intern.
We got to fire that.
And I'm not
intern.
happy about not being paid, let me tell you. All right, gentlemen, his next one. Which professional wrestler, active or retired, do you believe has the most compelling backstory? Now, I'm gonna-
The
You mean-
Rock, maybe.
You're talking about
I guess,
you mean real life backstory? You're talking about the
I'm not
character's
seeing now. That's the kind of thing
backstory?
he should have specified maybe a
Because
little bit. Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson's personal story,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all the details, but I would think it's not that exciting.
No, actually, that's why I said him, because he supposedly came from a family with a single mom that didn't make much money.
Yeah.
Was evicted from his house at like 14 or 15 when he was still in high school.
His dad
And
was
now look at
Rocky
him.
Johnson, the wrestler.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the wrestling was in the blood. I think his uncle, too. But
he's a
But all the
hand-me-down.
stuff
He's a
about it-
legacy.
But I guess his dad wasn't around, because
Well, his
I've
dad
seen
also
him.
did-
I've
wasn't-
seen him say that
I don't know.
before. You know what I mean?
I don't know how
Like,
much I would buy of that backstory, simply because, I mean, if his father wasn't around, he wouldn't be a wrestler. If his father was around, he's a wrestler.
then
because,
that's not necessarily
well,
true.
yeah, but he's a legacy. It's easy for him to be able to just pull the dad strings and get into wrestling.
Well, yeah, that's
I
true,
mean, that's
too.
what they all do.
But it's not to say that, like, just because
You know,
dad
we
wasn't
got
around,
Eddie
he
Guerrero's
wouldn't
freaking kids wrestling now.
No, yeah, no,
You
I
know?
get that. I'm just saying, but just to say, like, oh, because he wasn't around means, like, he wouldn't become one.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Like that
But-
could go either way. Like, it depends on the relationship
Yeah, but
they have.
okay.
Like, it's not like he
What do
shut
you
him
know
down.
about anyone? Most kids who.
No, I get why you
You know.
why you say. I'm just saying it's not always the case.
No, not always the case, but
You know.
you get it though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
don't know
just
much
see it being more likely that he would not have become a wrestler.
It's fair enough, though.
So-
it's fair enough.
Good
But
point.
I mean, I know for a fact his father is Rocky Johnson.
no, yeah.
so-
And he's got like an uncle too. And
Yeah. Yeah.
His name is Rocky.
Samoans.
And then The Rock.
Yeah,
so-
the Samoans. The Samoans are in
Really?
his family.
No one said he was original with his name. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so I guess I'm completely false. So fuck me.
So,
Next
Fuck me in
question.
the butt.
I don't know much about wrestling, so
I'm
fuck
not
it.
really too
so
big on it.
that's what I know of him. That's why I would say the
Right,
opposite of you. You know,
Right.
I'd say
But
as a
if
character.
what you're saying is true, then there's an aspect of it that could be
Absolutely.
used. Absolutely.
Now, if we're going character,
yeah, character.
I'd say Undertaker because that shit's scary.
Yeah,
He came back
A couple
From
of
the dead.
times, I think so.
yeah.
every
I-
match.
You know who I really want to know more about? That lovable lump, Paul Bearer.
Oh, you know what's funny? You mentioned Paul Bearer. I just watched his ring get sold
Thank God.
on.
I was hoping that you
Porn
didn't say I
stars.
saw him last week down at the fucking ferry.
No, he's dead. But
gonna say, yeah.
he's in the
How do you
WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay, sure.
So they got a ring. He's got a ring, and the guy who owned the ring, selling it
Nice. Didn't happen to catch the price.
$1,200. He thought he was going to get 12 grand.
I bet. Sure, I can see that happening on
You
there.
know,
So now we come to our illustrious friend, a frequent emailer, a helper behind the scenes.
Quite mysterious, right?
Well, he's like a spy.
I heard this guy
Yeah.
lives about 45 minutes away
Yeah.
from your house,
I think it's like 7 minutes
And
now. It
he's-
keeps getting shorter every time.
and he still don't want to come and be
He
on
still
our
doesn't
show.
want to come. I don't get it.
That would be Agent Palmer, right?
That would be him.
What does he got for us?
As always. Well, this opening's a little different. To the podcast of theories that are wicked. I don't watch The Flash. The sigh was just for the open, right? Okay. He goes, I don't watch The Flash, but thanks to you guys. Well, wait. Don't judge him yet. I don't watch The Flash, but thanks to you guys, I don't have to. You covered every week, and that's good enough for me. Which is what he's told me on the side. He's been like, you guys covered, so I don't really have to watch the show. And it sounds like a really good show.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's like,
yeah.
but
Well, Palmer, sorry to burst your bubble, but there was no episode this week, so there is nothing to keep up on this
yeah,
week.
if you were looking for more on
Yeah, so
if
you
you're
have
looking
to
to keep track of it through us this week, you'll have to wait like the
you'll
rest of
have
us.
to wait till next
2 more
week's
weeks.
episode of The Flash Knows.
Right. Previously on The Flash. So on to the questions. He says, do you ever wish you could unread a book, unhear an album, or album, unhear an album, or unwatch a movie just so you could go back and then experience it all over again for the first time?
No, because if it's any good, if it's that good the first time, then I'm enjoying it that much the first time anyway.
Yeah, but
You
I think
know?
he's saying, like,
So-
could you imagine,
So
like,
much.
But do you want to like regurgitate your food, to chew it again, to taste it again?
If it's that fucking good, of
but
course.
sometimes I will
I mean-
have another slice, no matter how full my
I mean,
stomach
there
is.
are times when I feel like there are times
let me
when
put
I
it
feel
in-
like
in
yeah, you know
terms
what, I could re-chew that, but but
But I'm saying if you
but
had
no,
the ability,
not in real life. I would not do that. So
But I'm saying
Okay.
if you had a juicy steak from Peter Luger's sitting in front of you, you ate the shit out of that thing, right? And then you're somehow still hungry. You had the ability to spit it out or get another one.
well, if I'm still hungry, I would just get another one.
Well, I'm saying if you had the ability to spit it out in its full, original state,
I think the regurgitating.
Then I need to learn how to chew.
I think
I'm trying to put it in
No.
it's just
hypothetical.
that's a gross
But
story. That
anyways,
my
it's just
no, the
also-
kid,
there's no not making that a gross story.
no,
you know? That's the
no.
hard
I had
thing.
a memory of an incident.
Don't talk about it. I don't want to
it's
throw
vomit.
up. But
related,
anyways, Palmer, that's a great question. My list is too long to name because I say that about a lot of
I could
things.
say that about any movie that had like a really good twist at the end that I didn't see coming. So like I'll say I could say that kind of a thing.
I mean,
like would I want to rewatch
one-
it again with fresh eyes?
Yeah, one I think
You
for
know?
you possibly would be Usual Suspects.
That's right, Bob. Get out of my fucking head.
I actually just saw that for the first time last week.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
How is that movie?
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's pretty
Now,
good.
did you already know the ending when going
No.
into it?
No.
No.
good,
So
good.
did you get your mind blown at the end?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Some people say that they see it coming, others don't.
I kind of saw it coming a little bit. I got to be honest with you.
You definitely get a feeling like there's more going on here. He's involved
Yeah.
more somehow. I don't know how much everybody gets tripped up to the fact of like who he really is.
Right.
But good, nice.
It's been on like Cinemax or something.
in
One of those
rotation.
movie channels.
I think the thing
for a
is,
few weeks.
if you keep asking yourself what is the deal with him throughout the whole movie, then you get blown away at the end.
Yeah.
If at some point you decide,
Yeah.
whether you're right or wrong, you decide you know what's going to happen with him, then when it happens,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, well, I did know, because you're going to fall back on, well, I did know that something was going to happen with him. So
Yeah, you kind of
You know what I mean?
feel.
Did,
like,
You're not-
Did Bryan Singer direct that?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the one. That's the big one.
that was
pushed.
that was his
It's
first
crazy.
one, right?
That's the one that kind of really broke
Yeah.
him. And there's a lot of great backstory stuff on that and how like certain things changed and because of the guys goofing around on set and shit.
Right. So,
But really good question. And for me, I did kind of answer it.
Usual Suspects?
It was gonna be Usual Suspects.
Yeah,
or
for
even,
me,
or
if
even Memento.
if I had to pick one, I think you've said that before.
Yeah, well, we talked about it recently. I said
Right.
you were gonna borrow it, but
Yeah.
I forgot to give it to you.
If I had to pick one thing to rewatch with fresh eyes, it'd probably be Game of Thrones, maybe.
Okay.
Just
okay.
because it's on that. Not that like that's as much as I love that show. It's not like my favorite show of all time, or it's not like my favorite medium thing of all time. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But there's so many twists on that show with deaths, like character deaths.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
That and I think seeing it for the first time, no matter who you are,
Like
is,
it's a lot
is
of
a special thing.
It's a lot of didn't see it coming.
Right.
All right, that was a good one. But he's got something else in here, so let's see what it is. Since apparently March is Metal Month, who are your go-to top metal bands?
That's a one for Bob.
Yeah, I guess that's really got to be mostly for me anyway. Bill could answer that, but
I could answer for you.
all right. So top metal bands.
Let me list them off for Bob, and he can
All
tell
right.
you where I'm wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
So I would say in that list is going to be Metallica, Megadeth, probably Anthrax, somewhere in there. Not too high up.
We're doing top 5 here.
Well, we're doing a tops
Well,
list.
so far he's got 3. And
So I would say
he's,
maybe
he's
like-
right. He's more or less right in his placement so
for
far.
metal, so you're going to have Iron Maiden in there. Probably above Anthrax, of course. Maybe for you, I mean, I don't know.
That
I'm
depends
kinda
on my
presuming.
mood. But
I'm presuming
Uh-huh.
some Judas Priest, and I'll say Nuclear Assault just to get a giggle. Just I know it's not in there, but
no,
still.
no, actually,
Exodus.
that's not in
How
there.
about Exodus?
No, just Toxic Waltz. That's
Toxic-
my
that is
Toxic
great.
Waltz is like
Everybody's
awesome.
doing it. Everybody's doing it.
and for good reason. For good reason.
The
It's good
Toxic
exercise.
Waltz. It is. It's a
Yeah,
great workout.
and weight loss too. I mean, you lose a couple of teeth, a couple of pints of blood.
How about you?
But-
Man, I'm not really a huge metal fan, man. So I mine would probably only be Metallica. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. You know,
He
I
doesn't
don't
run
have
that
an
deep.
Right.
encyclopedia of
Okay, fair
Metallica
enough.
knowledge, but
You want a button on
yeah,
that? Okay.
actually, okay. So as far as Metallica,
Yeah.
Metallica is only up to the Black Album. And then, unlike a lot of people,
Yeah.
I do kind of include the Black Album because
Yeah.
there's a couple of good songs on there.
The less radio
But-
play, the better on
Right.
that album. I can-
Basically, Through the Never and Enter Sandman, because Enter Sandman is like the boiling down the simplicity of thrash. Like the most
Fair enough,
simplest,
Yeah.
musically
Okay.
simplest form you can come to thrash. That's what that is. The most radio friendly, simplest form. So that's what it. And a lot of people don't like it because it's that, but I like it because it is. Anyway, Megadeth, Anthrax, one I listen to now. If you would ask me this back in the '80s, I would have said no. But on my playlist now is actually Accept. The last couple albums have been good, if a little feeling like familiar. Overkill
Okay. There you go.
Overkill, the boys from Jersey.
Right.
One formerly from Staten Island.
Formally.
Traitor.
So
All right. So Palmer's last question.
Testament.
No, for me, I would just say my go-to top metal bands. I'd say Metallica, Iron Maiden, Tool.
Mm-hmm. Maiden.
A little bit of Pantera. Pantera, you can't.
Pantera. You can't knock them at all.
And there's like one album from Testament that I
Gotta
have
have
that I
them on your
really
list.
love, still to this day.
Oh, which one?
Practice
What You Preach.
Souls of Black, maybe.
Souls of Black. Okay,
Souls
that's
of
one
Black.
of the early ones.
Yeah. I just didn't
Okay.
know. Like, I knew it wasn't the first
That's really telling because that's one of the early ones with Alex Skolnick.
one. Okay.
He's back with the band now, but very jazz influenced guy. So
the arrangements were always feeling different.
They're a little busier, a little more out there, not so familiar sounding.
Yeah, that's why I liked it.
You know?
I felt like it had a very unique sound. And I don't know how much you'd classify the metal overall. Well, you probably would overall. Definitely hard rock, but Faith No More for me too. So anyway, his last question is, lastly, can any of you explain chaos theory better than Dr. Ian Malcolm? If you don't remember who Dr. Ian Malcolm is, I had to actually
it's
ask
the
Palmer.
theory of chaos.
There you go. I mean, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I don't know how good Ian Malcolm did it. That's actually if the name's not ringing a bell.
If it helps, I'll do it like this. It's the theory
Well,
of chaos. Does that help? Does it make it sound more intellectual that
it
way?
does. It actually.
The
it
voice
does.
helps for sure.
And the only thing you would need to feel or seem more intellectual is a pair of glasses.
Maybe
If you put your glasses
maybe
on,
a pipe and a blazer with
I might
the
overdo
patches.
it. I might overdo it. I might start to feel like it's a bit.
I think it already feels.
I
like
see.
Well, I think chaos
Food for
theory is
thought.
the study of the randomness of the universe, such as waves and ocean lines, that kind of thing. How can randomness exist in such a universe that is all about, perfection and everything, having a space for everything? How does randomness exist? I don't know if that's exactly right, but he can write us an email next week and let me know if I'm right or wrong. Butterfly effect and all that shit.
It's like that because we all came from an explosion.
Now, someone please go get Bill a drink or not, is how he ends it.
No.
Not. All right.
Is that about do it for the
No.
emails?
We got one more. So this is a new one. This is a new emailer. This is from Irena Wiener. If I'm Werner rather. And
you.
no,
Thank
don't
on.
start. No
Come
jokes.
on,
No
Bill.
jokes. I did it by accident. Small print. I couldn't see it. And Bob, don't go there. So new listener. Let's not offend.
Let's be nice.
Let's be nice. So
I was never going to go there.
her and you might know the name Braulio from the comic shop.
What's it? What is it?
Braulio.
No.
Steve. So it's Irena and Steve are, friends from the comic shop. They are always there for the WCBJ radio podcast,
Okay, cool.
and which I've been helping out the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
I will be helping out next week and the next couple of weeks after. But so they're always there hanging out. They love sending emails into that show, and they like to kind of like throw in a bunch of questions. So we're going to try and hit this pretty good. Have any of you heard or follow the show Grimm on NBC? Actually, Dom is a big fan. It is one of our favorite shows. There's violence, fighting scenes, and a mystery. You should give it a try if you're not already watching. So Dom's
That's
actually
been
a big
around for
fan.
a few seasons, so that
I
would
am a
involve
big,
a
big
lot of
fan.
binge watching.
Yeah,
I think it's on season 4 or 5 right now.
Right. And you said it's
I think
actually,
it's season 5.
it's come back pretty good. Actually, you were saying.
Yeah,
telling me the other
it dipped for a season and a half, I think, somewhere in the middle.
story-wise, but it
because
kinda-
it's just a normal
Like the writers kinda
cop
lost their way.
procedural with a little bit of a twist on it, like most
genre.
basic cable shows.
Right.
Me and Bill actually had an in-depth conversation
about
about that
how
the other day.
every genre show is a cop show.
Right now, it's where it's at. It's really found itself, and it's stuck to the main storyline, like
Its
the main
own-
through line.
Its mythology, its own kind
Right.
of stuff.
So it's
It's not getting lost.
top
in the,
3, one of my favorite shows on TV. Right
Oh,
now.
good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. 'cause I
And
know
it's
you were-
really impressive for a show that's on NBC to me, because if you know me, you know that I'm not a huge fan of shows that are on, like, the basic cable
the basic
channels.
networks. The basic
Yeah.
networks. Yeah. And NBC is notorious for not really
Mhm,
giving
mhm,
these kinds of
mhm.
shows a long shot.
Right.
So the next, how about you? You
You
never really watched
No,
it,
I
right?
never really watched it.
Okay, so
So.
do any of you guys watch any sitcoms on the regular or anything like that?
Big Bang Theory.
Is The
when I
Grinder a
catch it.
sitcom?
I would say close enough.
Yeah.
I would say it's a half-hour comedy. We'll
That's the
look at it
only
like
one.
that. Yeah.
Grinder's
It's,
great.
yeah, it's the single camera comedy, like
Yeah.
Earl.
So that's the only one you're catching on the regular. What
Yep.
about you? Well, you watch a few.
I
hear some
watch.
chuckles.
I catch. Usually, I catch the Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
All right.
Meh.
Yeah. We'll let you. We'll let
But
it
everything
slide.
else is usually like reruns, syndication stuff. So
Okay. I'm a big Always Sunny fan. I wish I could catch it live more often.
That show's nuts.
But the show is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
And if anybody hasn't gone and checked out like the first 2 episodes, that's all you need.
That's all you need. Yeah, that show is totally like a bunch of nut jobs who hang out in a bar would be in real life.
Like imagine if like, you know, like that like the quirky the narcissistic fucking way that everybody was on kind of like on Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
They're all self-obsessed, like
Yeah,
but
yeah.
on crack.
Yeah.
Like it's like
It's
the
kinda
worst people in the world making it like they all make the most horrible fucking like
Life
fucked up
choices.
decisions. Like fucked up decisions. But anyway, it's hysterical. So it's all on Netflix. You can find it. Any of you guys like animes? I'm kind of like stuck on a lot of older stuff that I watched. You know what I mean? That's always going to be my perennial favorites. It's, you know, Akira, Ghost in the Shell. I don't really catch a lot of anything current.
Ooh.
I didn't catch Attack on Titan, which I've been kind of like, it's one of those things I've meant to. I know it's on the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
On the Netflix. It's on the TV.
Yeah, no, I've never really gotten into the animes. I love animated stuff, but I know that if you're a big anime fan that you hate when people compare the two.
Sure.
So I apologize for that.
But
I've
I
never
don't mean to
gotten,
offend.
I've never gotten into the animes, if that's how the kids say it.
The how would you? Yeah, how do you? I guess that's how you pluralize it,
know.
right?
Yeah.
The animi.
Yeah. The anime.
So you were not how about you weren't into like Pokemon, any of that shit growing up?
A little
Even-
bit with like the cards, but never really
Dragon
like the
Ball.
show.
You look like a kind of person.
You look like a
Power Rangers?
Go Power Ranger.
I did like the Power Rangers, more like the live action shit, but I was always playing sports.
That's
and
basically
stuff,
live
you know what
action
I mean?
anime.
Yeah, well, you know, Kung Fu.
Like,
Kung Fu and Godzilla mashed up.
Like my nerd career really only started like 5 or 6 years ago.
My nerd career. I
Like,
love
you
it.
know, like I was always playing sports when I was a
right,
kid.
right,
Now I
right,
don't do
right.
anything. Now I just read comics
There you go.
and watch TV
It's better that you came in late.
and
'cause,
lift things up and put them down.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so there's a few questions here. Okay, on the last episode of Arrow, how do you feel about the reason Felicity ended things with Oliver?
Ooh, I didn't like it.
Do you think? Well, do you think she's being a stupid bitch? We think she is.
I think she is being a stupid bitch, and I like that you guys are being blunt about it. Because I mean, you guys probably agree with me, but I know Bill and Bob don't watch the show, so you didn't see the episode. But when
She's pregnant.
Not
it would be
yet.
hard because she's from the waist down, she's paralyzed. But
Who, Feliz?
yeah.
That's right. They made her like Oracle, right? To put
Yeah.
her in a wheelchair.
But well, wait, listen to this.
Oh,
There's a catch.
Gotcha.
So the episode starts off with Oliver and her in like a physical therapy type setting, with her like trying to get her out of the wheelchair to
Sure.
do some leg work and stuff, and she can't do it. So it's like, oh gosh, golly, you'll get it. Don't worry, babe.
We'll come back.
And then the end of the episode, the final minutes of the episode, they're talking, and they're like, she's telling him, oh, I think we should break up or whatever, and as she's like breaking up with him, she stands up, and she gets the satisfaction of getting out of her wheelchair and walking out.
So it was like just some mind over matter, like in the heat of the moment.
Like
she's
it was
just-
so forced, like by the show. Like, all right, you're gonna break up with him, and then you're gonna bitch walk out of the room, even
Are
though
you
you're fucking
serious?
paralyzed, bitch.
She still managed to do the bitch walk. That's
Still
great.
not. It's like,
And that's like how it ended.
She was paralyzed and was able to bitch walk out the room, but you can't text me back. Come on, yo. What the fuck?
Oh boy, yeah. So there's that. So I'm glad you guys kind of bonded over that. And then number 5 is who is everyone's favorite superhero and favorite villain? This is a thing they do. There's 11 questions. So favorite superhero.
Batman.
Batman. Batman. I think Batman's pretty strong for
It's
me
either
too.
going to be Batman or Spider-Man for most people. I
Yeah,
think,
I think so too.
overall. Superman's a little out of reach because he's an alien.
Favorite villain?
Oh, just because of the absurdity of the whole thing, Doc Doom.
All right.
You
There
know,
you
He's-
go.
He's like every stereotype of a bad guy taken to the 9th degree.
It's fair enough.
The 9th degree.
You go first.
My favorite villain's Donald Trump. Just want to say that doesn't count.
You mean Drumpf?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn between like I want to say like Magneto, but much like Doctor Doom, it feels like this is a guy who should be really taking over the world already.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
Doc Doom is like the when you think Doc Doom, you can't help but think of the guy in the black and white movie with the damsel in distress on the
Right,
on the train tracks
right,
going
right,
twisting
right.
his mustache
Yeah,
and
yeah.
with the pianos
Yeah,
keys
it's a little,
going
it's
on.
a little old
You know,
schooly. Yeah,
it's like he's like drawn right from that.
yeah, in a way,
you know,
in
in
a
a
way.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
I think everyone's favorite villain is the Joker. But
I almost was going to say it too, but I felt like it was too easy.
I was
going to
say not to, be too easy. I would probably have to go with Reverse Flash just because he's pretty cool. Not just because of the show, but in the comics.
In the
he's pretty
comics,
cool also.
you've
He's
read
got a
the
cool.
comics. You've got cred.
He's got a cool origin story in the comics too. So.
All right, and how about favorite foods? My favorite foods.
Pizza.
Pizza's pretty good. I'm going to say lasagna for this one.
Mm.
A nice
One-
good
Oh,
lasagna.
yeah.
One Italian dish I do not like.
Chicken palm.
Trying not to stare down Dom to the point where he wants to leave, but
I think it's that I've eaten so much of it as a kid.
all right, maybe
that
that's it.
I'm
Okay.
just sick of it at this
you're
point.
just unimpressed, kind of like with
Chicken
it. I
parm is
got
up
you.
there for me too.
Yeah,
though.
chicken
I could
parm.
eat chicken parm every day of my life, and it will
Yeah.
never.
I could.
Fair enough.
You
I
can
just
see
like
the way I cook
food.
it. Yeah.
I just like food. Okay, which game systems do we prefer? PS4, Xbox, or Wii U? I'm a PS guy. I'm a
Xbox.
PlayStation guy.
Yeah, I'm an Xbox One guy because PlayStation fucked me for too long.
There you go. Fair enough.
So
Bobby doesn't like to get the butt stuff.
No.
If you could do one fighting move from a game, which would it be?
well, it's got to be the Mortal Kombat finisher where you pull his spine out of his back. Come on, if you're gonna
That
do
is
anything,
Finish him.
Yeah, that actual that one.
that
Yeah.
one.
My all-time favorite, and I used to have like a little nerdgasm every time I would do it, was because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan.
Sure.
Is when because in Assassin's Creed they have this like built-in blade
Mhm.
You're right.
in their wrist.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he would just walk up to guys and just like go like just walk up. I mean you can't see me doing it, but
Right.
walk up and just like shank him.
Like
with
you're
it.
gonna
Right,
punch,
right.
like you're
So
gonna punch him in the stomach, and then the thing comes out on a
Yeah,
spring.
and it just
instead.
always looks so badass and cool,
Right,
like,
right, right,
and like
right,
so
right.
innocent, but so fucking.
Oh, because
cool
it's one
at
of
the
the
same time.
nonchalant moves, right? Where he
Yeah.
kind of walks up on a guy and does like a slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of bend him over your fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
And
like
I
an
always
attack.
loved
It's
doing
like
that.
this nonchalant silent kill thing.
Right, and they always made like a cool like sound effect with it, like the slink of the blade coming out
You're
of the wrist.
fucking creepy.
Mm.
All right. How do we feel about Legends of Tomorrow? I'm not big on it. Dom is still kind of watching it.
I'm watching
Yeah.
it, but I'm not big on it. The last 2 episodes are actually pretty good. That they've been getting in some more DC Comics
saw
Easter
more-
eggs
I saw more
past
positive
couple
stuff
episodes.
Mm.
But
over the last couple episodes.
I'm gonna stick with it just because it's in that universe and I watch it already, so
Sure.
I might as well just what the
You're
fuck's
there.
an extra
Yeah.
show.
You know.
Yeah, ask me tomorrow.
There you go. All right. Send an email tomorrow.
No, I
So-
don't watch the show, so ask me tomorrow.
Bob, are you aware of an MFK? Do you know what a marry, fuck, kill is?
Not really.
Okay, so marry, fuck, kills. I'm going to give you 3 things to
Uh-huh.
choose from. One of them you marry, one of them you fuck, and one of them you're
Oh,
going to kill.
okay.
So,
Okay.
The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow.
As TV shows,
I guess in general, yeah. I mean, no, what let's do them as character basis. So one you have to fuck, one you're gonna marry, and one you're gonna kill.
wait, the actual guys themselves?
I'm gonna say that.
No, let's go with the shows. Let's go with the shows. Okay.
Of TV shows.
I'd marry the shit out of the Flash because
Yeah.
it's so
I
lighthearted and
agree.
sweet.
I agree.
Mhm.
I'd fuck Arrow
Okay.
because it's gritty and
It's great. It's a dirty little romp you're gonna have on
Yeah.
the side. I got you. I
And
can
then I'd
see
kill
it.
Legends tomorrow because it's not a good show.
Yeah.
Not a great show.
Not the cream of the crop out of
I
those
think
three.
we could all agree with that.
I think that's a fair stance.
I think that's a fair enough way to go about it.
Unless
I
Bob
don't,
wants
I
to
don't,
bang
I don't
Barry.
watch Arrow or Legends, but
if you had to go with the run, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the only one that they gave.
yeah,
us,
I mean, I have to start off with the Flash is married because that's
The
it's
best.
just it's
the long-term
it's like
relationship.
fucking. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm getting cavities when I watch the show.
It's got its
You know?
moments.
Yeah,
It's sweet.
it's not as
It
bad
is
as
sweet.
some shows are with that kind of stuff, but it's there. Go Barry, you can do it.
So question 11, which they're going to wrap it up with, is we heard about a Baywatch movie being made. How do you feel about this? Did you watch Baywatch when it was on TV? I really didn't.
I obviously it was way behind the times
For you.
It was way before my time, but I actually posted a tweet yesterday. I follow The Rock. I follow Priyanka Chopra, who's in that movie also. And they both been posting Instagram pictures all week on set and
Okay.
stuff. So I took a screenshot of a picture of the two of them in they're beachwear and stuff, looking all shredded and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, my self-esteem levels when this movie comes out are just gonna go right down.
Right down.
Because they all just look in such amazing shape. So
Well, I heard the Hoff is definitely going to pop up in it.
Yeah, of course. He's got to pop up in it because
Yeah.
he owns the license.
Well, I mean,
He's one of the him and the
he's
producers.
got one of the, yeah, he's
I
on
heard
that
Pam
too.
Anderson
Shut it down? Or?
kind of, she had like a meeting with the producers and she asked for too much money and they were like, listen, Hooker, we don't need you that much.
She was looking at this as the
So-
big payday back.
She's not going to be in it for that reason.
She shot too high. Flew too close
Just
to
a
the
rumor.
sun.
Yeah. Well, I could see how she would be still be a little full of herself.
Well, I bet you
I
it
think
was.
that she's
I bet
worth
you it
more than
might
she
have
is.
been just.
She's full.
Well, think of it like this too. She hasn't done a lot. She probably could really use a good check. She probably pushed a little too hard and tried to
Yep.
hold firm on it. And instead of it working for
but-
her long run, it
Well,
backfired.
actually, it might work for her in the long run because it's going to be a horrible movie.
I guess maybe there's that too.
I mean,
Honestly,
I
anything
can't
that Zac
see
Efron
anything.
touches lately, I laugh at. So
Yeah.
it'll probably.
I mean,
They're
it's
playing
got to be
a comedy though.
Are they playing it like Jump Street?
I think it's more in that
Yeah.
vein. Yeah,
All right, then okay.
it's got a
it'll-
chance.
It'll get an audience.
It could be
It's
funny.
still
in its own
still
right.
not even going to be a good movie for that genre.
No, I mean, hey,
I
no one's
mean,
looking at it to be huge.
This
amazing.
is, I mean, it wasn't.
It could be funny.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's too early to gauge. I mean,
good for TV
I think you got to
back in
remember
those
that.
days. It was.
Now it's going to be a bit of a
Right.
different animal. That
That
brings
w-
fun in itself too.
Right.
So.
Well, one thing we got to remember is that the TV series was back in the '90s, but it felt like it was recorded, and written in the '80s
Fair enough.
with '90s equipment.
Fair enough.
Okay,
It
so-
really was an '80s feeling TV show
Yeah.
on at the wrong time.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. And to what Bill said, I think that it's going to be funnier than the show was as a whole. And I think, like you said, it's going to poke fun at itself because that's one thing that Efron and The Rock do very well is play those, doofy, laughable characters that are a little over the top with their
Yeah,
self confidence and
I think it's
a little too full of themselves. So I think it's going to be like that, where it's like a lot of douchebaggery going on. That's they think is serious, but in actuality, it's we're laughing at you.
Right. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for the emails. That's the last of our emails. I want to thank everybody for sending in emails. I especially want to thank Irena and Steve for sending in theirs.
Thank you, strangers. Please become
First-timers.
people we are familiar with.
Yeah, and we look forward to hearing from you guys again soon. And again, thanks to Ed. Thanks to that other guy.
Agent Palmer.
Him, right, him, and especially also to Mary E for sending in 2 emails all the way from Amsterdam.
Mary.
Mary.
Thanks,
All right.
Mary E.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, pod listeners. We post new episodes every Monday. And if you're looking for other places to listen to the Wicked Theory podcast, well, we've got some options for you. You can find us on the Wicked Radio Network, the Tangent Bound Network, iTunes, and the Apple Podcast app that's built into every iPhone and iPad. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn, Libsyn's podcast source app, Player FM, and soon Google Play. Of course, you can also hear full episodes at wickedtheory.com and on our Facebook page. As always, please subscribe, rate, and review where and when you can. That's what actually helps us to get exposure and new listeners. If you want to reach the show, you can send questions, comments, or any other little thing your heart desires to podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Yeah.
That should be on it. That should be on it.
That's got to be on the end of every one.
It's fucking news o'clock. That's what that
News
means.
time, baby. Let's get.
Not just news.
Ow.
Exactly.
Let's get right into it, folks.
right.
Let's kick it off with some comic news.
Let's fucking slash and burn through this fucking segment.
Let's do it.
All
Joss
right.
Whedon has returned to Marvel for a Captain America comic with John Cassidy.
If you thought it was going to be a movie right there, you just got nervous for no reason.
I said comic.
I know, at the end, but I bet you somebody was like, Joss Whedon back to Marvel? Oh, it's just a comic book. Yeah, so it's just a one-shot comic. I don't even know if it's Cap or if it's Falcon or whatnot, but look for it. They made an announcement.
They did.
Maybe it's Captain America.
It might be Falcon America or something like that. Anyway, Falcap, I think is what they call it.
Captain.
That's a different.
Go on.
If he's fapping, it's a whole different thing.
Captain America. It's
All right.
perfect.
And then the movie stuff, where are you starting at?
Zack Snyder has come on the record to say that he wants to make a George Washington film in the style of 300. Now I don't know anything about this, but
I think it's kind of like
I
inspired.
like the way it sounds.
I think it was inspired
All
by
right.
the Declaration
Crossing of the Delaware?
Crossing of the Delaware painting, yes. And that all I can imagine is that just that one scene for like 10 minutes in slow-mo with some fucking Nine Inch Nails behind it.
No, because it involves them sneaking up. They were sneaking up on the British on Christmas, and when they were sleeping,
That would actually be fucking awesome movie.
and
I
they
think-
basically slaughtered them while they slept.
If he's looking for the over like Instagram filtered fucking style of like 300 and Sucker Punch, this kind of thing, like I don't know, man. Just do a straightforward kind of fucking movie about it. I don't know if I need the extra gloss, sheen,
I never
and
really
tone added in that.
I never really saw
300?
300
Yeah,
fully
okay.
through,
Okay.
but
You got
so
enough.
I'm not really sure of the exact like feel and tone that
Well,
he's
granted,
talking about.
I mean, they're adapting a comic book, and it's like Frank Miller's comic, so it's crazy. It's over the top, and they're trying to bring like those visuals, hyper dramatic, contrasting and shit like that. So obviously, they probably won't make it exactly like that. But to put 300 in that description at all is what
Yeah,
it's like.
they're
what is this?
they're going for a certain look
On
to
s-
help
on
build the drama.
on some level. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
help build the gravitas.
as
Now,
these,
who would like not to get too into it, but who would you guys like want to see play fucking George Washington?
I'm not even sure.
Like, I'm
Bruce
trying to
Willis.
think.
Was that?
Bruce Willis.
No,
Maybe.
maybe.
Like, can he still do action? You know what I mean?
Can he act?
Like, can he still do action?
Can he do an accent? Or is he just going to sound like Bruce Willis, but it's going to be back then? Because I don't remember seeing Bruce do an accent in anything now that I think
No.
about
All right. So Mickey Rourke.
That's even worse, Bob.
it. Well, if you're going to do it like 300, you kind of do have to throw in, like a crazy,
He'd be Benedict Arnold or something.
this is Sparta. It's going to be like, this is Delaware. And then he kicks the boat over. And everybody's like, Dick.
You
Yeah.
would think what's his name? We just did Madoff.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
But he
Who,
might be too short.
De Niro?
Richard Dreyfuss.
How about De Niro?
Eh,
We don't want to cross the river.
Too
I thought we were
short.
going to go
Too short.
across the river.
what do you want to cross the river for?
He's too.
What's over there that's so important?
It's too cold.
He's
It's
too old.
covered with ice.
So, I don't know what to make of that. It's just crazy talk. So, also, there is talk that maybe supposedly, I saw the picture, but Sylvester Stallone was spotted on the set of Guardians of the Galaxy. So now there's,
No,
he had a script in his hand.
Who
so
told
people,
you that? No.
Well,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's one of these things where it's like, who could he possibly be playing? What are they going to do with him? Is it just a cameo? Is it something as small as what's her name?
Maybe he's reprising his role from that 3D Kids movie he did. The kids,
Wow, it must be so bad.
Spy
'cause
Kids?
I
Spy Kids 3D.
No,
was
no,
in Spy Kids?
Yeah, in one of them. Yeah, He's
Yeah,
like,
the
this
3D one, Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, he's the bad guy, right?
Yeah,
Bob's a big
he's the
fan.
bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know. Some people are like, oh, maybe he's going to play his dad and not, what's his name? But
Russell
I don't
Russell
think,
fits better as a dad for
I
him.
think Stallone will probably be some kind of cameo-y thing.
You know what?
Yeah,
I know who's
maybe
gonna
a
play.
bad guy. It might be a bad. He could be a bad guy.
Bob. Bill.
Yeah.
But
Audience. Stallone as Groot's dad.
Now you got it. My name is Groot. I am Groot, too. I am Groot.
I am Groot Senior.
That's it. I got nothing else.
I am Groot's father.
So
Yo, Adrian.
so you guys can speculate about that until the
Till the day you die.
until the
fuckers.
day you die.
So
Next,
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this guy's name.
Hessier.
Okay. So Eric Hessier
Let's go with that.
has jumped on the adaptation of Sandman with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right.
I guess he'll be the director for that movie or that series
Joseph.
of movies.
Joseph is, yeah.
did I
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is. He's going to be the director.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He's writing. He's like
Oh, okay,
directing
yeah,
and
yeah,
starring
okay.
in that.
I'm sorry, I misread it. Horror writer Eric Hessier will adapt
Mr.
The Sandman for
Sandman.
director Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Is
hey,
he going to star?
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of these things like he was going to write it too. So I'm sure this guy's working from some kind of outline that he's kind of been trying to put together.
Okay.
But supposedly the article that this links to mentions that there was 2 versions of scripts that were kicking around and kind of what those were like. So
I feel like this has been in limbo for a while.
it has been in limbo, much like the Sandman himself, in a world of dreams.
True.
It's been existing, and maybe it's going to go forward. I don't know. All I can see is that, I know Joseph Gordon-Levitt sat in his house and put white makeup on himself and did his own makeup test for this because he's just that kind of guy.
He's that into this project, I assume.
He's just into anything he does.
Yeah, he gets really wrapped up in everything he does.
I could see this being like more of like a Sundance thing.
Yeah,
a big motion picture.
And even the studio has said that, like, we know it's not.
Thing.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not that. It's not that animal. It's a different kind of animal. It's a lower. It's a different kind of burn. Trying to make it compelling is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be mainstreamy.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. I know next to nothing about the Sandman. I've never read any of his comics before.
It's highbrow shit.
Yeah,
it's highbrow. Well, and I don't mean that like in a snooty tooty way. I mean, I've read it. I love it. It's great stuff. It's like, it's one of these things where it's like it gets close to literature. It feels like it's like, oh, this is different. This is smart.
Well, Neil Gaiman,
that's his thing.
He got famous writing novels. So
and this is the one that really pushed him too. So also, Sony is talking about Venom again.
Yes, it lives.
The Venom lives, as in Spider-Man's bad guy getting his own movie.
Yep, it's Sony.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, really, generally.
So, just to read a little excerpt from this Bleeding Cool article, it says, the script will be written by Dante Harper.
Right.
I don't know who that is. And will be set apart from the MCU Spider-Man film. So, based on that and that alone, I think this is a terrible, terrible idea.
They're going to try and find a way to make it its own thing, supposedly, right.
But, okay, I could see it being its own thing, the way Venom has been in the comics recently, how he's running around with the Guardians of the Galaxy, doing more of his own thing in space, being a space knight. But how do you have a basic Venom movie set in New York City on Earth and not have Spider-Man in it?
Well, here's the other thing. That version of Spider-Man is Flash Thompson, which is Peter Parker's bully. And one of the interesting things about his life story at this point is that he goes from being Peter Parker's bully in high school to joining the service. And then when he's in the service, he loses his legs. Right. And then eventually Eddie Brock, who used to be Venom, who was Venom in the third Sam Raimi movie, if that's all you know, he gets separated from the Venom symbiote, whatever, or dies, I don't even know. And then eventually Flash Thompson gets hooked up with it through the government, and he ends up basically being like the government's kind of version of the Punisher kind of a thing. So it's like, which version are they going to use? How are they going to go? That's the only one that's got any kind of weight or anything interesting to it anymore, and that's directly tied to Spider-Man. So if you're going to make it its own standalone thing, well then, good luck to you, because I feel like those connections are the things that make it part of what it is.
Yeah, who's going to end up fighting him? Even if Venom ends up being like the misunderstood good guy in the movie, who's going to end up fighting him?
Or quote-unquote being the bad guy, right? Because if he's the quote-unquote hero or main.
Well, yeah, but there's got to be a point in the movie where he's misunderstood, so there's got to be a good guy coming in to fight him.
Chances are, yeah, but I'm saying who's the antagonist on whatever level.
Knowing that now, knowing the background of Flash Thompson, which I didn't know before just now, I could actually see it working, because you could just do... You could actually make it a standalone thing if he's working for the government. You can have him go off in Syria, Iraq.
I mean, you don't really have to.
There.
I think what you're missing out is any kind of cross-marketing or tapping into the whole point of doing it, though. Right? So don't get me wrong. Like, you can definitely make it its own thing. But isn't the want and the desire to do it all that it stems from Spider-Man? Like, it's like saying, we have the X-Men, so let's make a Colossus movie, but not tie it to X-Men at all. Like, he's never been an X-Men. He's not even a mutant, basically. It's like, that's the kind of story change you're talking, like, by doing that. So it's like,
no, it's crazy.
It is kind of weird and wacky. They'd be better served making it tangentially attached.
Well, I think Sony's,
at the very least.
It sounds like Sony is grasping at straws because they don't have a lot of Marvel material to pull from.
They don't. And the stuff that they have is just, it's super thin.
They're going to do a movie about Aunt May and Uncle Ben's marriage? I mean,
Hey, maybe one day. Yeah. If you're lucky, Bob.
Mary Jane's modeling career, I mean.
Already sounds better. So what's next in the kitty there, buddy?
So, although the movie the first movie won't get released until December.
Right.
An Assassin's Creed sequel is reportedly already in the works.
Yeah, we added this one in late, Bob. It's not on the sheet.
Yeah, there's a few late add-ons.
Late add-ons.
Yeah.
So they're
not too much to say there. Really,
just kind of. I think that's a decent indicator of the movie being any good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least they see it being good enough to think about international sales kind of thing.
Yeah. They're definitely thinking that it's going to be good enough to warrant a sequel. They possibly are looking at it as more of a long-term profitable than short-term.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a property that can go
Longer
for
term.
on and on and on and on.
Oh yeah, there's a good amount of source material now. There's 5 games?
Yeah, 5 or 6. I'm not sure. I haven't played the last 2, but
there's
anything
Syndicate,
before that.
China,
Revolution.
the original one, Revolution. I don't know. There's a Templars one.
The Templars are in all.
Oh,
of them,
there's the one
but-
at sea that with the pirates, and then there's
that's Black
Pirate.
Flag.
Black
It's
Flag.
Assassin's Creed. I'm not gonna fucking get into the fuck.
Yeah,
It's been
I'm
so
not
long since I
quizzing
played
you.
Xbox and those.
yeah.
games.
I played the first one.
The first one's rough. The second and third are
More
really really
rounded.
good, and then the fourth one, which is set in like colonial America,
Right.
is also very good, and then the 2 after that were a little shaky
Okay.
to me.
Okay.
But they have another one coming out within the next year.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
they
I
pump
see
those
it.
games out like crazy.
Yeah, it's another yearly
But,
game system
I mean,
series. Like,
You know, one more thought on it.
yeah, sure.
If
okay,
this
just
movie
one.
is very good,
Yeah.
fucking open the floodgates for fucking video game movies.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That could be the next group that gets the big push.
I mean, because they've been trying for a long time. Doesn't seem like anything really kind of breaks through in a big way.
A couple of Tomb Raider movies. This Hitman has been fairly successful the last few times.
Yeah.
Enough to keep making the movies. I guess they do well over in Europe.
Yeah, something.
I'm talking about, Gears of War. Well, it'll fucking get a
Yeah,
movie.
they're saying now that
Halo will get
World
a
of
fucking
Warcraft
movie.
is a big
Absolutely.
tell.
Yeah, we'll see how that does. Because that's
Square Enix tried to make it a movie.
Yeah.
A Final Fantasy movie a few years ago.
Right. Yeah.
And that sucked.
That didn't work.
Because they were trying to go for a whole new look with graphics, computer graphics, and everything, and they failed.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So-
that's actually going back a distance.
Yeah,
too.
Warcraft is much more in the realm of those other games that I just made.
Right.
Assassin's Creed is much more grounded, so I could see it transferring to a movie screen easier than Warcraft.
Yeah, Warcraft. Obviously, is heavy.
Assassin's Creed's also got a good source material. It's
Amazing.
got it ties itself into real history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make it, but you seem that much more believable with that.
It's got a lot of different elements going on, for
Yeah.
it, which is good.
All right, so
Now we're in the
that 23 Jump Street
Yes.
Men in Black crossover
Yes.
that we had mentioned a while back.
Because the internet asked for it.
Why?
'Cause the
It's
internet-
actually moving forward, guys.
So at some point, somebody said, "Oh, like
and it's got a director
I'm not even
officially.
sure that
It
the
must be a
Genesis-
Fox movie.
what's the studio?"
Is this a Fox movie?
He's
Sony.
Sony. Oh,
course.
okay.
Well,
Also,
Sony or
maybe,
Fox? It's a
Sony's
toss-up.
turning into Fox. With
Yeah,
the bad
Sony.
decisions.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, I think that's. They're looking at the success of the whole internet thing with Deadpool.
Where did the guy who
and
was the
trying
problem
to-
at Fox end up going? Did he go to Sony?
It's possible.
The guy who was shooting down comic book shit for all those years and gave them the hard time with the Fantastic Four. I think he ended up.
No, I think he's in the Taco Bell down the street from the studio.
No. The sad thing is
you
he
would
ended
think
up.
he would.
But he got an upgrade. He went to another studio and got bump up.
So,
Really?
So,
Because he had enough success with other shit. So
so the director is James Bobin. I've never heard of him, but
that's fun.
he's got some cred here, actually. He is a director and producer on HBO's Flight of the Conchords,
Okay.
Which I know you
He
dig a
knows
little
Goofy.
bit.
He can do Goofy.
And he directed The Muppets.
He can do Goofy. He
so
knows
he
Goofy.
can do Goofy.
So,
So apparently Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill will both return.
right.
But Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones will definitely not be putting on their black suits for the film.
Which makes the whole thing kind of pointless. But did
So
not get either
it
of them.
says here in the
So-
article from comicbook.com that according to Sony executives
It'll
and
die.
Variety source, the studio will instead cast younger actors in their place with hope that they can breathe fresh life into the Men in Black.
I forget
It'll die
of
before it gets made.
I forget the gestation of this, but I feel like this, if I remember correctly, this is one of these things where like somehow it came up on the internet, got a little bit of steam behind it, and for some reason Chatham.
Chatham.
I was calling that Chatham.
There you go. That's
Chatham
good.
Tating. He's just
Chambit.
Chambit is all about like if the internet tells him he should do something, he's like, that's what we're gonna run with that. Because look, people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's his thing. Maybe
Channing's got to make some better decisions.
You
He's
can't
not
let
like
the-
his two upcoming
I get the
movies
impression
are
he's kind
scary.
of like. I get the impression he's kind of like Matt Damon. Now, if you know anything about Matt Damon, that there's a group of people in Hollywood believe that Matt Damon is not the most intelligent person, but he's got a natural gift for acting.
Sure.
All right, so
Okay.
he's a great actor.
All right.
So I get the impression that Channing Tatum's kind of the same way.
Well, that's I
not,
read that more of
not
him.
necessarily the smartest guy in the room,
Yeah, right.
but he's got this an instinct for acting, so he's a good actor, but I don't think he should be allowed to make his own decisions.
I think of the kind of person you're describing, Tatum is more of that than by watching them in interviews when they're on couches on talk shows and shit.
He comes off sometimes as a little bit of a mimbo.
Yeah, and doesn't really can't really run on the seat of his pants and off the cuff as easy as Damon can.
Yeah,
but
all right,
he's good looking and says okay to the.
But that's
the bosses
I'm going to stamp that bad idea of the week.
Wicked Theory, bad ideas.
Bad idea of the week is the
one final bit of
crossover.
movie news, and I am saving the best for last here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
It has been officially confirmed that Matthew McConaughey and Idris, however you
Idris
like to pronounce
Elba?
it, Elba, are confirmed for the Dark Tower
Stephen
movie.
King's the final really going to happen.
So,
the adaptation of Stephen King's
I don't
epic.
know anything about the book series, but I just purchased, it hasn't been delivered yet from Amazon, the first installment of the book series, the Gunslinger, right? But Bill's read the whole series, right?
Thank you, Si.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What?
You'll. That's how we
yes.
say thank you. That's
Okay.
how we say thank you. Thank you, Si.
Okay.
But this is my quartet. This is my wheel, and after a while, you'll read the book and you'll understand more of that. So that's for you, and anybody else who's read them. But yeah, man, look, you're in for a ride with that shit, and
yeah, it gets a little out there.
it gets really out there. But what's good about it is
I was
that
being
like
nice.
it gets crazy out there. What's good about it in a way is that like, you know, it pulls in stuff from Stephen King's other stuff eventually, but because you're not fully immersed in like this Stephen King avid reader kind of thing, like
Now,
you won't have to get bogged down by any of that kind of like
he uses
processing it, like, you know.
in this book series. I've heard that there's a lot of tying into his other novels.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it does start to do that more often as the series goes along. The first few books don't really do it much. A little bit, I think, starts to pop up around the fourth book, I believe.
Okay.
But it kind of starts to come full force after that. Eventually, there's a point where, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but it takes a turn. It hits a point where a lot of people are divisive on whether or not it works.
Oh, okay.
So I'll leave that to you. I don't want to try and sometimes even mentioning that there's a thing to look forward to or to think about. Sometimes I feel like almost kind of sets it up sometimes, and it shouldn't even do it. Like, you know, it's like, don't tell me there's a twist in a movie because now I'm waiting for the twist. You know what I mean?
Right. I like Stephen King. I love Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba, two of my favorite actors out there. The director, NEWS.Joss, I'm pretty sure he directed The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I thought was a great movie.
Sure.
So I can't wait. It comes out January 13th, 2017.
You know, I'm fine with however they have to boil it down and coalesce it, because it's like, you know, it's fucking big. It's a lot of shit happens. So it's like they're definitely going to cut out this one book. You will probably hear about it as you go, which one it is. I forget which one it is, but it's basically like it's a flashback to when Roland, the man in black, the gunslinger, is young. And it's interesting stuff in and of itself, but it's merely just a story of him when he's young for the majority of the book. So it's almost like it's skippable kind of like thing.
Now, Idris Elba will be playing the gunslinger, Roland, and Matthew McConaughey will be playing the man in black, who, if I'm correct, is the villain of the series.
Right.
So that'll definitely be interesting to me, because I don't think we've really gotten him
playing a bad guy.
McConaughey,
you know?
as a bad guy in anything.
What's interesting, I think, overall, though, too, and you'll know this pretty fairly early on in the book stuff, is that, like, you know, he's pursuing this guy. The first line of the book is the man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed.
Right.
That's the first line of the first book.
I love it.
And like, it's, you know, it's a great opening line. You know what I mean? So, but that's kind of like a good portion of the book is him following and chasing after this guy. So it's like a question of now in these movies, how much are we going to see of McConaughey kind of early on? Like, are they going to shift stuff around?
I would think so.
You know what I mean? How much is he going to be like up front and be like, you know, more of a hands-on kind of thing? But if they're cutting away a lot of the chaff, quote unquote, it'll be easier to do. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably one of the bigger news items for me personally this week.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
So that brings us to the next segment.
To the Reboot Report.
Reboot Report. We're going to try and burn through this one, too. I'll mention it anyway, real quick for you, just for the sake of it. Nickelodeon's going to bring back Legends of the Hidden Temple, but it's going to be a movie, not a game show.
Is it going to be a hidden movie?
TV movie. Yes, you're going to have to find the movie in order to watch it.
Now, I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline because I was so just annoyed about it. But
well, because it hits you in your warehouse.
It,
I was so just not caring about it.
Well, I was a kid
really
when it was on.
That's what I'm saying. You watched it.
I loved it when I was a kid. But is it going to be now? I didn't understand because I didn't read the article.
Sure.
Is it going to be like a game show like the show was, or is it going to be a
I think it's a TV movie.
Like written.
I think basically it's going to be like
fictional thing,
making it into like a Tomb Raider kind of or Indiana Jonesy kind of thing. I'm presuming that the Hidden Temple itself, is what it's going to be all about. So what you'll get.
I mean, it's cool. It's got like a cool backstory.
What I'm assuming is that the game, because it was a physical kind of run-through game kind of a thing, right? That's what it was. So like they have different challenges and different elements to those games that have like recognizable names.
Based on the theme of being in a hidden temple, that kind of thing.
Right. So now you're going to see them
now
as
now they're creating a hidden temple. That's
so now, like whatever kind of element you saw in that game show. Like, the buzzsaw of death, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And it was just big foam sticks that would punch you in the head.
It's going to be very kid-centric, it sounds like.
Well, but I mean, the way that they're going to tie in all those elements from the game show and make them things, now they're really threats.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you've seen it already. It's called Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, by the way, I saw a thing, and they're saying that they're sticking to the newer games as the basis for the story, which aren't really so different.
Oh, they're doing another Tomb Raider movie?
Well, it's talk,
Okay.
So, but that's the gist of that news.
Yeah, it's a good license for that if they do it right. Like if they go with the material that's from now, like from the first Xbox 360 game. Let's call it that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
the relaunch is
is good because they can pick basically an unknown actress or someone that's fairly familiar from Disney or whatever, and she could play. Hey, she's 18, 19.
Yeah,
and she could play that role, and then she can carry that role for 5, 6, 7 movies.
Yeah. There you go.
Until Laura gets old enough, and then they reboot the whole thing, and they find another 16-year-old to
Such
play.
is life. The cycle of life.
I'm just wondering of when Disney's going to buy this license because it's so ripe for Disney.
I don't know where it's at, what studio it's at, or anything.
Yeah.
What else we got, Mr.
So, and also in the reboot report, Bryan Singer is developing an R-rated Red Sonja series for television.
Why?
Because that's the age we live in, where something's not attached, it will get attached to a project.
Red Sonja's never like an A-list or even a B-list comic, so
but that's really never stopped anything.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea if it's just source material, but because you can just grab anything as a story and use it as source material for something.
Well,
but
I don't know anything about Red Sonja.
So Red Sonja spirals out of Conan, so it's barbarian
era
and stuff.
Yeah, I would rather see them redo Conan.
Yeah, well, I hear that too, but I feel like I've seen Conan.
Right.
I feel like Conan's big done.
They made one, 5 years ago?
Well, everybody had perfectly white teeth. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, exactly, and it was horrible.
But
you
my point being,
you got to introduce Red Sonja to girls and stuff. You don't do an R-rated series. It's not gonna work.
I think it could. I think what could be interesting about it is if it manages to be good in and of itself, it could fly under the radar of people who are assuming it or would know it to be tied to any of that.
Yeah.
Like you might get a lot of if it's on Netflix or something like that because we don't know what avenue it's going to go down.
Right. Yeah.
I
assume if it's Bryan Singer R-rated. Oh, for television, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So R-rated for television. I think they're developing it independently at this point. They don't have an outlet attached. Yeah. So if they're doing it like that, I could see maybe a certain amount of people kind of not knowing what it is and falling into it.
Yeah, get that shit on Netflix, man.
But that's something like that. There's a certain amount of project that's out there like this kind of a thing. I feel like it's like
Netflix could use
Vikings or any one of these kind of time period shows. Like this is
I think Netflix could use another strong female led.
Well, I think that's
TV
the thing
show.
in general.
Well, I think if you're looking at if you're asking what is lacking, what's out there that's lacking, and needs addressing, needs to be represented, then there are strong female roles like Jessica Jones and stuff. There needs to be a few more of them, and this is a great time to have those roles.
And Red Sonja's had a couple of runs of comic that. In the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I've been really kind of lauded.
She's a barbarian, though, so you're not going to be able to color her in a way that is sympathetic or not sympathetic. She's always just going to be a barbarian, and that's what she's going to do her things for.
But I think that what you're forgetting is that's what good stories will do. We'll take you what you think you know and then spin it on its head. So at the very least, I think that anything has a potential.
Yeah, but if you go too far one way, then you have Red Sonja bitching and moaning about her menses or something. And then,
you might think that because you think that's a default.
No, I don't think that's a default. But I'm just using it as an example that you can go too far. I
Yeah.
don't never expect that kind of thing to go on
Right,
a show,
right, right,
obviously.
right. Well,
but I'm just trying to illustrate
no,
my
like-
point.
it's fair enough though.
You
Like,
know?
you know what I mean? I think it's
You got to be careful about making her. Like here's my thing. If you want women in general, girls, younger girls, to embrace a character like this, they got to be able to relate to her. They can't relate to a barbarian. If you try to humanize her or like make her a little more current, then you're making her less of a barbarian, and then the character
Right.
loses its strength.
I think you're overthinking
So-
the barbarian aspect too, because as much as like
Maybe.
Conan is like the barbarian, like kind of like a lunkhead, you know, the both of them are kind of like these are representations of like the best of the barbarians because they're not that dumb. Like they're actually pretty smart and savvy. Like, you know what I mean? And Conan, even though in those movies he is, you know, just a hack slash kind of guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's supposed to be a little bit sharper than he comes across in those movies.
Yeah,
Like in the
yeah.
comics and the stories,
Right,
he's
yeah.
supposed to be like, even though he's
Well,
a
that's
grunter,
part of the whole point.
he's a thinker.
Yeah, they're
like,
always
he's
thinking, "Oh, you're a
smart,
dumb
like
barbarian," and he's not. He's smart.
Right, you know what I
know.
mean? So I think there's a certain amount of that's always supposed to have been a thing. Was it's supposed to kind of like, oh, you know, it goes against the typical or what you may expect. But hey, look, you know, it's Bryan Singer, and you know they're not going to put that much money into it, and
Right.
you know, I don't know. I'm
Hey,
hopeful for
he'll
it.
just go do it in South Africa. All he needs is a sword and a couple of dresses, some makeup, and some cameras.
I mean, I guess if it's that
Yeah.
easy. I mean, we should just start doing it now.
All right, what else we got here?
So this Star Trek project. Do me a favor. Definitely open that one up because I want to know the couple of guys here.
I wish I'd known this was on the thing. I would have practiced my Star Trek.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
If only there was a way.
So
But-
Rod Roddenberry is the son of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry.
Right.
So he's joined the staff for the CBS's new
Star Trek
Star Trek
show
series.
being run by Brian Fuller, and he's
Trevor
also
Roth.
right. He's also brought in a couple of other people like classic. He's putting together like a really good team behind this. it
Okay,
seems.
so some names.
So he's got Rod Roddenberry, Gene's son.
Yes.
He's also got
Who's happy to be working?
the guy who wrote and directed.
I'm seeing three names on this.
We have Brannon or
I see three names on this thing here. It
you,
says
you mentioned there's some names. If you mention them, I'll remember.
Trevor Roth, Alex Kurtzman,
Kurtzman.
Heather Caden,
Mm-hmm.
Brian Fuller, and Nicholas Meyer.
I think it might be
All
Caden.
producers.
Nicholas Meyer. One of them is the guy who wrote and directed.
Nicholas
two
Meyer
of the,
co-wrote Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home.
Okay.
He signed on as a consulting producer and as a member of the
Okay.
writing staff.
Okay.
Okay,
right,
so
right,
he's from the original
right. So
history.
I think this
Original
is tipping
stories.
some of us. So now some speculation is that
Right.
like is he bringing in some of these kind of guys from the old school stuff because he's going to try and base it in that.
In that universe?
In the original run, you know, kind of universe. Even though the
No,
movies,
I
the
don't think-
CBS movies have kind of rebooted everything, are they going to let this TV show occupy the old continuity?
It could be.
You know what I mean? So I think
Could
that's
be.
a way to
It's
keep this
definitely
show.
not in the JJ universe.
Well, that's what I'm kind of trying to get at.
Yeah.
It seems like this because of this lineup on the writer's side, because they haven't really said what it's going to be
Yeah.
yet. You know what I mean? Or where it's going to lie in the whole continuities.
No, I
Kind
hope
of
they.
spectrum.
I hope they do some things. If they're gonna be in the original universe, I hope they do some things that harken back to the last series. And I say that meaning all of them. Like
Right.
like
Even Deep
like they
Space.
did with the Trouble with Tribbles in Deep Space Nine.
Right.
There's a lot. I've been watching some of the reruns of of Next Generation,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple of episodes on there that would be good to revisit in a certain way.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's this one where this alien has them basically in a maze for the
Okay.
whole episode,
Mhm.
and it seems like they get out.
Oh.
But
There's 15 minutes left.
but but it all seems like that, and
Mm-hmm.
then they even have the little alien who's like takes up the whole universe or whatever.
Right.
Talk to him on a little monitor screen, and as they part ways, and it to me be perfect for them to like come back 30 years later. Maybe Jean-Luc Picard is older,
And they
sitting-
still
and they're
never got out?
And not that they don't get out, but like that we see now like Jean-Luc and the alien like on the monitor again,
Mm-hmm.
and how at this point Jean Lucas realized that everything that's happened after that, it was all part of the aliens' plan, and they've all this time, the whole time we were watching that show for the rest of the other 5 years, all those stories were part of the manipulation from the alien who was testing us to see all this stuff.
Right, so it wasn't real.
So it wasn't real. They never really got away.
Right, that's what I said. Yeah.
So, but then it would kind of like put a nice big twist on everything that you ever watched in the 90s.
Well, let me tell you.
I
think you'd get a certain amount of the fan base who'd be like, so you're telling me all those other stories don't count? Oh, my God. Brains would explode.
No, but you know how you get a twist at the end of an episode and you're like, oh, dude, I never saw that. This would be something that you could like, whoa,
I wouldn't
wait
mind like a button or something like it's at that level.
This accomplishes two things. One, you give yourself a whole new way of being able to tell all new stories.
Right, because that timeline now didn't happen in a sense.
Right, so now that J.J. Abrams universe, you can explain that away if you want to, because that's starting to get a little weak for me. And what was the other one?
We don't even have to address the JJ universe because it's literally a tangent timeline. So it's like you don't even have to pay any mind to it.
Right. So so you can do things like that where you go back and say, okay, well maybe something that happened in Deep Space Nine.
Well, the question here, he's mentioned
is still like
Peter David
affecting things.
He's mentioned he's got a lot of there's a lot of affinity for that whole series too. So the real question is just about when this guy's going to place this in a timeline. He's obviously sticking to the original Roddenberry fucking stuff. And
if he's got Roddenberry involved, he at least wants it to feel like it could belong in that original universe. You know what I mean? Even if they end up stating it early on that it's not.
Yeah. So with that, the last bit I got for this part is that. For the reboot report, is that they're going to bring back Death Wish. They're trying to make another Death Wish. They're going to reboot it. If you're not familiar with Death Wish, this was Charles Bronson's big thing back in the 70s. Got like 5 films out of it.
Yes, our mother was a huge
Charlie
fan.
Bronson. She just loved Charles Bronson. Oh, my God.
Hey.
If I got to hear her say one more time about Charles Bronson, as if like they hooked up once. It's like, stop, let it go. But
yeah, Mom had a thing for Charlie. As ugly as he was like... it was
strange looking dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like to me, it's just a revenge tale. Like now it's like been there, done that because we've gone through everything that Death Wish kicked off.
Right. There's like Death Wish 12 or something.
Death Wish launched a change in cinema in a way, and even storytelling where like people like the Punisher. Actually is a response to Death Wish, they say. Like when they talk about the creation of the Punisher. Well, it was the vigilante kind of era where every movie was like, the Death Wish or wannabe Death Wish. So it's like, I don't know how much it feels like Taken to me. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a very thin premise for a movie.
I think it might be a
rethinking?
No, a reaction to John Wick. I bet you somebody said, you know what we can do? Death Wish is like John Wick because John Wick loses his wife. You know what I mean? And then he goes on like a revenge fucking thing.
And his puppy.
So, well, I didn't want to mention the puppy because I feel bad about the puppy. But
John Wick was actually a good movie.
John Wick was fucking badass.
Sequel's coming out soon.
That footage of him fucking running around doing the gun training.
It came and went so fast, Yeah, that footage you had on Facebook was from that?
Yeah, it's supposedly
his training for the second movie.
Yeah, from his training for the second movie.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was from. It was just like this random clip. People were like, yo, look at him go crazy with the guns. This guy's good. And it's like, all right, yeah, well, shit. So
I was just like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, hey.
Click.
It's a short video too. So, but anyway, so for me, it's just kind of like, unless you're gonna try and I don't know, Bruce Willis just feels like cardboard to me lately, so I'm not impressed.
Well, I think he'd be good for that then because it's a thin premise, thin actor.
Fair enough, and like Bronson wasn't doing nothing deep in the original.
You got it. No, I mean, you got to do is talk like this and
do a little Jelly Brunson. Do a little Jelly Brunson.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna blow your head off, buddy.
So we're gonna wrap with a quick discussion on the state of the world and some highfalutin geopolitical talk. I feel like the trade union, the trade routes,
the TPP,
the TPP,
Trans-Pacific Partnership.
I was going to say the trade routes, either in Star Wars or the spice mines in Dune. But no, seriously.
What we're actually going to go over is...
I saw an article on a website on monkeysfightingrobots.com, and it was like 5 actors who could take over playing Wolverine when Hugh Jackman leaves, which eventually will happen. because you can't do it forever.
Christopher Walken.
And so Bob's first personal suggestion is Christopher Walken. I guess we're going for very old Logan.
This old man Logan.
These blades are sharp.
There you go.
Out of the back of my hands.
The pain.
Well, before we go forward with that, I would just like to say that this just came across my Twitter.
What, we got breaking news?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt has left the Sandman movie.
Is that...
This is according to comingsoon.net, which is pretty...
They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
They might even have where they're getting it from.
So, this article was just put on like 5 minutes ago, so I haven't read it in full yet. But so Gordon-Levitt has taken to Facebook to announce that he has departed from the project. His full statement reads, I'm not going to read the whole statement. It's pretty lengthy.
Wait, I'll read it. It says, those assholes don't know what the fuck they're doing. I quit.
Pretty much. So,
no, what does it say?
It's long. I'm not going to read the whole
It's
thing.
long.
I mean, unless you want me to. I mean,
you don't have to, but I mean,
I'll read the first paragraph.
There you go. Give us a little bit.
So, as you might know, if you like to follow these sorts of things, a while back, David Goyer and I made a producing deal with Warner Brothers to develop a movie adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Neil himself came on as an executive producer. We hired the excellent screenwriter Jack Thorne, and we started on the ambitious task of adapting one of the most beloved and boundary-pushing titles in the world of comics.
He's being highly superfluous right now.
I was pleased with the progress we were making, even though we still had quite a ways to go. So, that was probably the wrong paragraph to pick to read.
Not as dramatic?
Not much was given to us there.
I feel like it's one of these things where it's like one sentence per paragraph is probably each paragraph's got one nugget that we need, and it's like we'd have to assemble it. But I think the thing we got to take out of this is that maybe...
So pretty much what he says is it changed hands from Warner Brothers to New Line.
Okay.
And a few months ago, this is still Gordon-Levitt, a few months ago I came to realize that the folks at New Line and I just don't see eye to eye on what makes Sandman special and what a film adaptation could/should be. So unfortunately, I decided to remove myself from the project. I wish nothing but the best for the team moving forward.
All right, so
and then the last paragraph is just him thanking Jeff Johns
the people
and DC.
he was working with last time. So I think this maybe kicks back to the story we told before, why that other writer was hired. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, they've decided to move on.
Well,
they decided to move in a different way, and he's probably feeling like, I know a lot of people are really excited for my version, so let me put out this really kind of like heartfelt kind of thing. Like I don't want to let any of
the guys at New Line said, "Hey, listen, that whole tightrope thing over the World Trade Center didn't really sell so freaking well. So
we're not in the Joseph Gordon-Levitt business no more.
So we're gonna do our thing. You do your thing, and if you don't like it,
take your balancing act out of here.
There you go.
Get your rope box. Get out of here." So, well, there you go. Breaking news on that front. So.
One more little tidbit of breaking news.
A little bit more
while I'm at breaking news.
All right, what do you got?
Matt Hawkins just came out on Twitter.
Your boy.
And said that,
he's leaving too?
I'm not as good as the bullshit people spin some things. This is a quote.
Mm-hmm.
But Postal is in development for television.
Oh, all right, cool.
So it could happen one day.
Is this based off the video game with Gary Coleman?
No.
No. It's a comic that I adore.
Okay.
So there's that.
No, it's a really good comic. I like to set up on it. I didn't stick with it myself, but I know you've been enjoying it, and it's. I like the concept behind it. I think it could be really something special.
All right. So.
Back to the thing we were doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. One last question.
Yeah.
Listen, with all this breaking news, I want to know, what did news ever do to you that you got to break it so much? It hurts.
I don't even have a good response for that because
it makes no sense.
Don't know.
All right.
So
now that Bill has just said, I'm going to edit that out later.
I was putting out a cigarette and I just stayed over there. I didn't look at either one of you during that exchange. I felt a big truckload of corn coming.
So Bill came across an article from MonkeysFightingRobots.com,
and this guy was just kind of listing here's 5 people I think this writer, could be good candidates to replace Hugh Jackman.
So I have the list up in front of me on my computer,
and I feel like it's a mixed list. So let's go over his list.
He's got a top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. I guess this is from least to best.
Right.
Josh Brolin.
Okay. I feel like he's too old. Old Man Logan, Sure.
And Josh Brolin's Thanos already, so no.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't work.
Norman Reedus?
No.
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 Jason Statham at number 3?
No. Here's the thing with Jason Statham. I feel like he's short enough. He's kind of like in that wheelhouse, but the dude isn't going to look right with a wig on.
Right.
And Wolverine doesn't have the horseshoe. You know?
As long as he's been around, I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off,
no,
but as long as he's been around, I've never seen him do an American accent.
Fair enough. And I think when he has, it doesn't really hold up too well.
Right.
I think in that movie Spy, he might. No, because he plays an international guy in that too.
I didn't see it.
Anyway, onward.
Number 2, Stephen Amell. He's already a superhero. Sorry to break it to you.
Sorry to break it to you.
And at number 1, who I
also
agree with as the best candidate, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I think safe to say he's the best bet.
No, I would not pick Tom Hardy as
no. Well, he's got an honorable mention on there.
Yeah, I mean,
for
he's
Old Man
an
Logan.
excellent actor. I don't see him as
well. You might like the honorable mention here. So the honorable mention on that list is
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke
as Old Man Logan.
as Old Man Logan.
Okay.
So which
All right.
I don't know. It could work actually a little bit. For a very warped kind of thing. But so in the process of putting this list up, you made up your own list.
I did because I misread the context of the article on the
So
Google
you did
Doc.
work you weren't supposed to do because you didn't listen to directions.
Exactly.
Don't they smack you across the head with a ruler in school for that?
Not these days.
Not these
No.
days.
No, these days
so-
they take your cell phone.
So I did come up with one of my own.
What you got on yours?
So I got a top 5 list.
Let's hear it real quick.
So number 5, I got Sam Worthington. You know who that is?
I know who that is.
Bob, do you know who that is?
I know the name.
He's
the lead from Avatar.
Wrath
of the
okay.
Titans.
All
He was
right.
in that Terminator movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not bad.
No, he's not bad.
I think I could see him.
I don't see him doing Shakespeare anytime soon.
He's got youth on his side, I think.
Yeah.
I think we could all look at his picture and see a little Logan in there. No, I mean,
Nah.
Yeah, I
Little
mean, it's
Wolvie.
there enough. It's there enough.
all right,
It's there enough.
maybe not.
I don't know. I don't know.
Number 4,
Mhm.
even though he played Sabretooth already,
Well, all right.
Liev Schreiber.
He's got the look. I think he could have pulled
Yeah.
it off if we had never gotten used to him as that. But
Yeah,
it just goes back
he's
to the
already-
rule we said. If he's already somebody else kind of a thing.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not what I said. I said Josh Brolin and Stephen Amell couldn't be Wolverine because they're currently playing characters in a comic book.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, Liev Schreiber was in Wolverine 10 years ago.
Hey, and if we can take Deadpool, if we can, do the whole Green Lantern Deadpool kind of thing,
So
why not?
I mean, that's how I feel.
And it would probably be a restarting anyway, so clean slate. All right.
Number 3. This is actually one that I found online. I've seen this guy before, but I didn't know his name exactly. So his name is Gael Garcia Bernal.
I was very curious about this one.
He was in. What the fuck was he in? I'm trying to get him up right now.
He is in a Netflix series.
Mozart in the Jungle.
Mozart in the Jungle.
He actually, I think he won. Maybe
the Pulitzer.
no, not the Pulitzer.
The
But,
Freedom Award.
Have you seen him before, Bob?
He seems familiar. He kind of.
I looked him up when I saw your list. I looked him up, and
You don't think you don't?
I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling it?
I'm not feeling it.
Okay, he's a little too on the scrawny side, I think.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying my Wolverine has to be dashing.
Okay,
but I feel like he's just got an unconventional look. I think is what they say in Hollywood.
all right. And here's one that will definitely stir up some controversy at the table here because I can already foresee neither of you agreeing with me.
Right.
Charlie Hunnam.
Who?
So Blondie.
Who? No, I didn't hear you say it right. You moved from the microphone. I didn't hear.
Charlie
Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy or Pacific Rim. He was the main.
Okay.
Kind of blonde-haired dude.
The blonde-haired dude. Yeah,
Now, if I had
maybe.
my pick, I love Charlie Hunnam. Obviously, I hold him dear to my heart from Sons of Anarchy. But
I'm only letting it slide because you're a man crush.
if I had him to be a superhero in a movie, it would be Green Lantern.
Let me see that particular picture.
It would be Green Arrow.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
You know what?
he would pass for Green Arrow.
You
he
know
would
what I would
definitely.
say to that? Because he's a blondie boy, make him Sabretooth.
There you go. Make him Sabretooth and use Liev Schreiber as Wolverine.
Well,
in a reboot. Let's call it a reboot.
I'm fine with that. I want to see Charlie Hunnam act outside of the box. You know what I mean? I want to see this guy eat up a scene. I want to see him get crazy. I want to see, he's
Watch some season 5 and 6 of
Sons of Anarchy when he loses his fucking cool.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
And that show actually went 7 seasons, so 6 and 7, I should say.
So your
and
list?
then number 1, I have Tom Hardy.
Tom
also.
Hardy.
I think Tom Hardy is, in my opinion, the best choice out there. If we're gonna go with someone that's well known and not someone that's a fresh face,
right?
And that's like in the middle age area,
Yeah.
not too young, not too old.
Yeah, I don't know. I would go with.
Look up Dougherty Scott. So,
I was thinking, and this is somebody who's already actually played a hairy guy for them. Now the name just like went out my ear.
Name something he's in, or
no, because then it's going to ruin it.
This guy,
Kelsey Grammer.
Scott?
This is the guy who was originally going to be Wolverine before Hugh Jackman got the role.
Can you see it?
I would be better. I would prefer him over. Yeah.
Can you see it?
I saw, but I hadn't seen a good picture of him.
I mean,
in
so
a
I'm
while.
saying, can you see him
as a character?
Kind of. You know what I mean? No. I think the thing for him is that he's not as tall. He's under tall. As the
Wolverine's supposed to be short anyway, so
right.
Yeah, I would prefer him, but what I was getting back to, what I was going to say was Kelsey Grammer.
You're just off the fucking
yeah,
show.
I did that one on purpose.
I
did that one on purpose.
That's why
I was telling you earlier.
Yeah,
Michael Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis.
All right.
Just slightly better than Kelsey Grammer, I think, for this one.
I actually think he would be good for it.
I want to see. I can picture Chiklis as like the out of shape, kind of like Logan, who's just like
the older guy. The original version of Logan, with the cigar,
lazy old Logan.
Yeah, the scruffy face.
You know who I could actually see?
Yeah,
now that you mention it, Michael Cudlitz from fucking The Walking Dead, who plays Abraham.
There's a guy on TV with a last name.
He's just got to dye his hair a little bit, I think.
He's a little. He's one of these guys who feels paunchy, even though he's kind of not. You know what I mean? But I don't know. He feels big. He feels big to me. I feel like he's like a saber-tooth kind of guy, more or less. But
Oh, I had another one.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds
for everything.
There you go.
Ryan Reynolds, Nathan Fillion for every superhero.
Nathan Fillion.
No.
Nathan Fillion for Wolverine.
He looks more like Sabretooth.
I think
Michael
Cudlitz. I think
I like cutlets, but usually chicken cutlets.
Yeah. Ginger cutlets. What you get with him?
Yeah, really.
I think Gerard Butler has got a look for it. I saw a picture of him recently, and I was like, he looks like Wolverine. He looks like Wolverine a little bit with a full beard.
Is he up there in age, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's youthful. I'm not saying
he's got to be up there with you.
He's got to be up there in age. I'm just trying to say, like, outside of that, I think, Wolverine's going to be one of these things where it's like, Hugh Jackman kind of came out of left field.
I know
for
this
it.
guy's not going to be doing any more Star Wars films, so maybe for Old Man Logan, Harrison Ford.
Oh, God.
That'd be really Old Man Logan.
I wish I could do a Harrison Ford impression right
Yeah.
That would be really old, yeah.
That's my Harrison Ford.
That would be his Logan.
Get off my land.
Get off my lawn.
That's by the time it gets made, that's where he'll be at.
How about this guy? Maybe not. I don't think so. But this guy Taylor Kinney, who's in he's in Chicago Fire that I watch every once in a while.
What about Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
We need somebody over 150 pounds.
Bob, yeah or no?
He's too pretty.
Too pretty, right?
He's too pretty.
I want to fuck him, and that's I've never wanted to fuck Wolverine, so
You're right.
He looks like,
think
what's
he's
his name was he looks like one of the characters that used to be on Grey's Anatomy.
he looks like a singer. He looks in that
He's, like,
particular
too pretty.
picture. He's too well groomed. He looks like a boy
He's
band
got
guy
eyes
grew
that are
up.
like so blue, they're like pools of water.
He
You
actually,
get lost in.
I'm
It's
looking
like,
at
God.
his wiki right now. He's married to Lady Gaga.
Is he?
So
Who
there
knew
you go.
Lady Gaga was married?
I'm
obviously
sorry, Lady
popular.
Gaga's not that friggin' attractive. Why?
Well, no one really said that she was.
Yeah, so why is he with her?
So
He could have a supermodel.
for honesty's sake, I really didn't have any other suggestions myself. I mean, as bad as that is, that's all I really had for it.
Yeah,
I did put up a
heard about
poll,
this
but it didn't really get any traction.
Story of my life.
Yeah, really, with the poll. So I put up Gerard Butler, Tom Hardy, and Norman Reedus just to try to get some traction. Maybe I figured maybe the Walking Dead fans would be like, "Oh my God, Norman Reedus," and then we'd get like 20,000 fucking hits on this, but it didn't happen. And then I put other to reply. So a couple of people picked Gerard Butler. And then, I got something from my buddy Instagrants when he says, "Oh, I vote for William Sweeney, writer and actor from Bar Karma. I hear he's available."
That's great.
And so,
Good voice too. By the way.
Thank you. And then Palmer, of course, chimed in. That would be epic. Also, hey, I could say, I know Wolverine. Would be cool to say that.
I share late night phone calls with Wolverine.
I talk to him. I have phone chats with him. I've Skyped with him.
Yeah.
And then I replied, well, hey, listen, that guy might be too big a star, but we'll put it on the list. You know what I mean? Then
I actually, while I was doing some research on it,
I said, by the way, we'd have to change the movie to Stoned Verine.
I actually saw a lot of people online talking about John Bernthal.
What about Keanu?
Keanu would be badass in just about anything these days.
Yeah,
I just wish his acting chops were a little tighter, a little more.
Well, he'd be perfect for Wolverine then. He does not have to act that much.
That's true.
You just gotta go, "Arr!"
Yeah.
Shoot out the claws and start swinging.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
You
You
know?
know?
And pine for Jean Grey.
And you know what? If Jackman could get ripped, because did you ever see those pictures where they compare Jackman from the first X-Men movie to like the last Wolverine movie?
No.
Where he's just like the last Wolverine movie where he's like a walking vein.
No.
He's just like it's just almost disgusting.
No,
There's
it's
so
like
many
when you
veins.
eat nothing but protein and you work out like a bad man.
I'll shoot down your Keanu fan cast because
Okay.
I'm looking at their ages right now.
Mhm.
And
Oh, he's up there. Surprisingly.
Jackman's 47.
Right. How old do you think Keanu is?
Over
Bob?
under.
'Cause I kind of know.
He's actually I think he's actually older.
Well, I know he's definitely older. I'll say you that.
He is older.
I'm going to guess a number.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's over 50. I'm going to say 52.
That's actually the number that came into my head.
Because
So we're going with 52?
Yeah.
That's a DC fans?
yeah, but we're 50,
he's
DC
actually
52.
he's actually 51.
We
But
were
his
close.
birthday's next week, so haha.
Yeah.
But
His
yeah,
birthday's
so
in September, so a little
There you
far
go.
out,
Oh,
but
when? I'm in September.
2nd, 1964.
Before me.
Damn it.
Beirut, Lebanon. I did not know that he was
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
terrorist.
States.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a terrorist.
He can't stay. He
That's
said
it.
He can't stay.
He's on the no-fly list.
You
He's
know,
out.
He can't play Canadian.
That's why he's so good with fucking machines.
You know what I got to say to that?
He's from Beirut. He's in his blood.
You know what I got to say to that revelation?
Whoa. Dude. So
No, that's actually really impressive that he's from he's not from the U.S. and he can
he's
do
got
Bill and
like
Ted so
he's
well.
got a very interesting kind of. He's another one where he's got like a very interesting upbringing up until the acting starts. Like I think he was one of these guys. Like born over there, but like moved around like a lot.
Come on now. On the fucking
I mean, John Bernthal. I mean, like he's a guy. You wouldn't think that he went to a Russian acting school.
Okay, so this is
either.
why he plays the stoner so well.
Mm-hmm.
So he was born in Beirut.
Beirut,
I guess that's Beirut.
New Jersey.
No, Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
But he
Same
was
thing.
raised in Canada.
Ah,
So that right there will tell you why
he's so
he
nice.
does the
when he
nice
kills
stoner
people. All right.
so well.
That's why he's so nice about who he shoots.
Right.
Very good. He's very polite when he stabs you.
Right.
I think that's gonna wrap it. Unless we have something more on the Wolverine thing.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. How's your Wolverine?
I
So
think that's it.
yeah, that's it. Bobby's taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's gonna play the music to get us out of here.
All right, so check us out on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Dom_Tor. You can find Bob on Twitter at Bob@WTPC. You can find Bill on Twitter at Wicked Theory.
That's right.
Check out our other show, Preacher vs. Preacher, that we plugged earlier on in the show.
That would be nice of you.
Go
Go get the books, read along with us. That's the big part. That's the big hook of that show.
and support a local business. All right, go to your local comic shop.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Comic Book Jones if you're on the island, on Staten Island. And if you're not on Staten Island, go to Comic Book Jones.
Let's go to Comic Book Jones. We can go to
But if you can't get to Comic Book Jones, go to the website. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Or just go to your local comic shop. Support a local business.
Support a local business, man.
And do some reading.
Support your local comic shop, man.
Ma-
Keep them in business. If you want to find your local comic shop, you can call 1-800-COMIC-BOOK, or you can go to comicbooklocator.com. Just put in your zip code, and it'll tell you exactly where your nearest comic book shop is.
That's brilliant.
That's brilliant. It's amazing. Technology, right? It's crazy. I'm going to actually go on Google to find a comic book locator. Then when I get the comic book locator, I will use that to find a comic book shop.
Or you could just call 1-800
Comic book. There you go.
So they got online. They got a comic book locator
Yeah.
that helps you actually locate comics.
That's
So-
what we-
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're saying.
Wow,
I'm telling you.
it's an amazing day we live in, huh?
Hey, you ain't kidding. All right. That's it. We're out of here. Come back next week. We'll be here again.
Yeah.